Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this, the 33rd episode of Blood on the Thames, a Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle set in London, England. With me tonight,
Carlos playing Moses of Clan Nosferatu.
Peter playing Benjamin of Clan Malkavian.
I'm playing Baby Jim. What happens? We'll see what happens.
Weird. I think we will. I shouldn't say that with such a malicious smile. Yes, we will. Perfect. So, we're going to start with the recap for episode 32 for those of us that missed last week or just needs a painful reminder.
Okay, so Benjamin takes Jim to meet Moses, and while they're waiting for Moses to arrive, Benjamin has some apocalyptic visions.
On the way, Jim gets a call from DS James, who has kidnapped Sarah, his sister, and is going to kill her unless Jim kills Alan Burr before dawn.
Moses brings Gideon and Nancy to his haven, his other haven, and they have orders to stake Jim and bring him to the constable. Prince Emrys is on his way to deliver judgment, so Moses makes their job easier by putting Jim into torpor. He then takes steps to protect Alan Burr.
So on the way to the church, Alicia calls Benjamin to find out what's going on with Jim. And specifically to where they're taking him. Benjamin doesn't tell her, and when that happens, she says that if anything happens to her child, he will suffer, which is rude.
Rude. Very.
Gideon informs Dakota that Jim was seen by 58 people who are being worked on by the Ventru groups. He also killed 3 members of the family in his frenzy, and the constable silenced the others.
While waiting at the church, werewolves attack. Moses, Gideon and the constable go to war, while Benjamin has his own battle with some inanimate objects.
When all seems lost, Prince Emrys arrives, and werewolves start to die very quickly. His pack quadra kill is denied by Moses, who takes out Graham McEwen.
And then finally, with the fight over, it is time for the prince to make his final judgment. Meanwhile, Benjamin is wandering around under the church with an unconscious priest in his arms.
That's where we ended last week.
It is.
Oh my god.
So, everyone's eager to know what goes on at the church. That's why we're not going to begin at the church. We're going to begin somewhere else. Manchester is quite a ways away. And by and large, BJ, you have been there for pretty much all of your own life. You are responsible for your Warren's connectivity with the others, dotted around England. And for all intents and purposes, you are extremely good at your job. That is the reason why you are declared clan whip. It is also the reason why the elders trusted upon you to relay information back and forth to them directly from the other Warrens. It's given you no small amount of prestige, but it also requires you to be very much in the know about what's going on. Which is why when 2 particular Warrens go silent this year, it's a troubling turn of events. First Reading, and then Plymouth.
Plymouth.
And you have no explanation for why. Now, the elders are not happy with the sudden silence. They're not happy with your inability to explain to them what's going on. And the numerous people that you have sent out to these Warrens have not yet gotten back with you. Or those that have gotten back in touch with you have given answers that tell you no more than you already knew. No more than you've already managed to piece together by your own reconnaissance down to Reading. Mm-hmm. But it's not just the elders that you need to pacify. There are numerous members of your former coterie, before you became more politically active, that have come demanding to know the location of one Nosferatu called Biggs, who you sent to Plymouth.
Okay.
And Biggs never made it back. You sent him 2 days after contact was cut. And now, in August, you still have not heard anything. Trying to explain this situation to members of the coterie that have found you in the Warrens, specifically
Mute.
Bob
Bob.
and Puggle.
Bob and Puggle, both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Puggle being one of the kindred that came from Reading.
Yeah, he warned about the tunnel rats.
Mm-hmm. They are both curious to know what you do. But the issue is, you know very little. Based upon what Puggle was able to tell you, there was a ceiling of warrens, there was fire, and there was a frightening intimacy of knowledge regarding the local subterranean terrain that should not have happened in the warrens. But you two, Bob and Puggle, have finally managed to locate BJ, who's almost never away from his terminal. And on this rare occasion when you manage to catch him out feeding, you need to know the answers. Because one of you has lost a warren, and one of you's lost a coterie mate. In fact, not even just a coterie mate, a brood mate. Namely you, Bob. So, on your way to the kennels, these two Nosferatu accost you. If you'd like to describe your Nosferatus for the benefit of people.
Okay, BJ is actually on the chubby side. His legs are quite thick, and he's the kind of person that when he walks around, like, he sways. But he does so with a mix of annoyance and confidence. Like, he knows where he's going. He just doesn't like walking pretty much places. He has a mat of hair that is all tangled but kept together with some string, and his face has marks like pox all over his face. So very like some red pustules and stuff. Big hands.
Puggle?
So Puggle is like a fairly small person wearing the skin of a fairly large person. And essentially, I don't know if you've seen some of those dogs that when they shake their head, their cheeks kind of go...
Yes.
Well, Puggle is kind of like one of those. And there tends to always be a little bit of drool hanging from the corner of his mouth, but it never quite seems to drop and hit the floor. It's like a big string of red, thick red.
And you, Bob?
Whereas Bob, whilst the other two are seemingly a little larger, Bob is the opposite. He looks almost bone with just a touch of skin on the top. He's just ridiculously thin. You can tell even the outline of just the shape of the skull. Even on those pale flesh, there are just cracks that just appear all over it. Or it's almost like this pale, almost glass thing that maybe if you poke it the wrong way, it'll shatter. It seems that shrunken, delicate.
Okay. So these two kindred are waiting for you at the Warrens. And it's something that you've been trying to avoid for a while. You know, you're fed up of repeating yourself at this point. But kindred don't seem to be taking no for an answer. With the Nosferatu, it all seems to be the case of you know more than you say. Even amongst clansmates.
You do again?
DJ!
Haven't heard anything yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
What do you want me to do?
Come on. It's us. BJ, it's us.
Hey.
Doesn't the past mean anything? You must have heard something. some little tidbit you can give us?
You've always had answers before.
Come with me. I go to one of the outer terminals. Sit down and think, okay. Want to know what happened to Briggs?
Yeah.
Went to Plymouth.
Yep.
And?
What happened?
The same that happened in Reading.
What?
But what exactly did happen in Reading? That's what I want to know.
I don't remember. I wasn't there. Listen. There's a lot of information going around. None of it true.
Then we need to find out the truth.
I've been trying to get in touch with Mute. It hasn't been talking.
Well, no shit.
On the terminals.
Point.
I don't know if Calibros or Wallace are in it, but they were interested in some of the exchanges beforehand.
You think this is an inside job?
Doubt it.
Puggle. Roll 6 dice. 1 hunger.
Three.
You've been having this discussion, and whilst your attention has largely been on BJ, it occurs to you that the numerous rats which flood the Manchester warrens have been almost single-minded in their direction. You haven't noticed it before. It's something that you did pay attention to for quite a while after Reading. But then, this far north you felt safer. And that was perhaps unwise. Because as you've been watching the rats, you've noticed that they all seem to be heading in the exact same direction. They seem to be going at pace. And it's something that you recall from Reading. It's something that you recall happening and you warning the elders about. But they seem to think it was an unimportant detail. But this is quite a sudden change. Unlike in Reading, it was a small change, and it happened gradually. But the movements of these rats have happened over the course of this conversation.
Okay, so I will lift an arm. It'll be a bit like a sort of a stick with a sail attached underneath it, and point at the rats and say, "Look, look! This happened. This happened in Reading
Someone calling for help?
before everything went dark. The rats. Look at the rats."
Try to just grab one.
Okay, roll 4 dice. 1 hunger. Oh, no, 3 hunger, because you were going to feed.
Nope, nothing.
No. The rat skitters away and goes up and over your hand as you try and grab it. They are somewhat frantic at this point. They seem to be very much keen to get away from the warren. And the warren is somewhere where they normally cluster to, because most of these ones are fed in the pools.
The pools, yeah, the pools.
Maybe we should follow them.
Maybe they know something we don't.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna try and question one and eat it. I'm just gonna follow. But this looks like easy food if I stay in this path. So I'm gonna try and collect some of them, try and talk to them, and eat them.
Argument.
Okay. So roll 5 dice then. Still with a 3 hunger. That's the +1 for. Actually, I'm assuming, would you give help, Huggle?
I'll give help.
With an extra black die.
That's a critical success. 7 successes.
You do manage to gather quite a few of these rats up. And they are terrified. And you can tell that by the way that they are ripping into your hands as you are gnawing on them. And even as you bite down into them, there is no weakness to the kiss, there is just frantic biting. And it's not trying to get you off of it, it's trying to get free of your hand. But slowly, very slowly, you begin to take nourishment and you slowly begin to work through your hunger as you begin making your way after these rats. You start making your way down the winding terrace of the warrens.
Any other rats tell me what's going on?
Not that you can tell. They seem to have a single-minded thought which goes through, which tells you little else than what you've already managed to deduce, which is flee. And then as you begin querying it again and again, and you two turn to watch him as he starts speaking to these rats, as he drops the bloodless corpses of its siblings and takes up another one, is the flee turns into another thought, which is fire. Flee, fire, flee, fire.
I hit the panic button. Literally run with the rats, but I scream at them, "Move, you idiots!" And I start like bouncing and leaping if I need to like open across crates. And if I manage to get any signal here, send a text or a speed dial to evacuate the warrens to a central. Just central, evacuate. Hit the alarm.
Roll your 4 dice. Roll 9 dice.
9 dice.
Roll 5.
How many hunger?
1, 1,
2.
and 2 now.
4 successes.
4.
4.
4 nines actually.
Sorry, I didn't anticipate having this many dice in this session.
Callum, are we slightly quiet?
Better now.
Just double checking. Let us know if we're still quiet, guys.
Wow, I'm going to spend a willpower point.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Sure?
Because that's amazing.
that's a terrible roll for you, man.
Statistically amazing.
Yeah, still quite quiet, Callum.
Okay, 4 successes for me.
Okay, 4.
4.
4 round.
4 all around.
Yeah.
4. I remember 4.
Whether or not it's the sheer panic which suddenly overcomes BJ, or whether or not it's because of the fear shown in the rats, I know for you, it's certainly got something to do with the massive sense of deja vu which is washing over you. And the fact that the deja vu is coupled with annoying sensation from your beast. And you begin fleeing, leaping, crawling, shoulder charging your way through the chambers of these warrens as other Nosferatu are suddenly beginning to pick up on this panic, begin moving their own way to either gather their elders, to gather their things, or make their own ways out of the tunnels.
Yeah, we're screaming evacuate, you know.
Yeah. But this is not something that everyone's quick to respond to. Why would they flee their own warrens? And this sudden unfamiliarity with the sudden need to vacate their own havens is showing. But even those who are prepared, like you three, are not quick enough. And when you come down to the tunnels to take you to safety, you find them, one at a time, sealed.
Shit.
You come to the first one, and it is sealed. You backtrack on yourself, you take an entire pairing of Nosferatus clean off their feet as you scramble frantically over them, trampling them underfoot, making your way to a second opening. This one on an incline. And you scramble up this tiny, narrow passage, which is more difficult for you than it is for you. And at the top, as you reach the top, it is sealed. And as the fear begins to grow, your nails begin raking on stone, coming away, exposing dead flesh, as you try and pull at the stone. And your beasts, each of you, are beginning to build in fear. It doesn't know what's going on, but it knows it needs to be afraid of something. And you begin doubling back down that passage. And it's tight, difficult to move, because there are Nosferatu flooding up towards you. And as you try and push your way past, as you try and protest, and you try and tell them, stop, it's blocked, they don't listen. Someone screams in a frenzy, and you know it to be a frenzy. But it's not that you can see. It's somewhere around in one of these passages, and it echoes. And then there is a from further somewhere else, and there's more screams, there's more shouts. Rats begin skittering through the pools of water, clawing over each other, biting each other in a desperation to get away. And then the tunnels begin to fill with smoke. And then your beasts lose their minds when the scent of fire hits you. And you do not remember burning. In London, a different kind of panic is taking over. In the midst of this bloody carnage, as the werewolves are ripped apart, the stone floors are caked in blood. And it's not blood of yours, because you don't bleed. But its smell permeates the entirety of the room.
Do I recognize any of the heads?
You do. Well, not the one head you kind of recognize is difficult to identify because of the hole that you've just punched through it. And it is McEwen.
Okay.
You don't have much of a chance as you are bound to the prince to inspect the others. But the ones that you've seen and the shifting head he had originally held up weren't people that you recognized. Any of you recognized. You, Gideon, Moses.
So Amy was not one of those heads?
Not that you've had a chance to look.
Okay.
What are you doing in the immediate following of the incident?
Do as the prince said.
Okay.
Shut up and wait until he passes judgment. So I just put the gun away.
Okay. You've been heading down this passage.
Yeah.
You've been heading down this passage with the unconscious priest in hand.
Yeah.
And although you can no longer hear fighting up ahead, the voices and screams of the creatures that you were facing echo loudly enough in your own mind, particularly given your heightened senses, that you continue to descend.
So I don't think it's safe to go back up.
It's hard to tell. You panicked. You know, that was the first time you've ever seen a werewolf.
Yeah.
And they're terrifying. You've seen a lot of terrifying things since you got changed. But a 9 to 10 foot tall monster that is nothing but muscle, fur and fang, that was pretty much ripping apart two of the people that are supposed to be keeping law in London, old creatures, is a terrifying prospect. And you weren't witness to them dying. What Emrys did, you were not witness to.
No.
So for all you know, the quiet could mean a completely different kind of thing.
Gotcha.
So are you continuing down this tunnel?
Yeah, I mean, given if that is what if I can still in my mind hear echoes of the wolves and stuff, I'm not sure if they've really ended or not. I'm not quite sure what's going on. I'll keep going for a little bit.
Okay.
What can I see?
The passage is narrow. It's very old stone, and you get the feeling that this is the kind of passage that predates. You don't even know how long. The kind of tunnel which would probably have been used at times where London was housed by a different kind of Englishman. It's old, and there are alcoves embedded into the wall which suggest it's where you'd normally put candles to light your way. And as you finally come down into a very, very small chamber that you have to hunch to get into, it basically runs as a semicircle straight ahead of you. And there are almost like ditches on either side of this tunnel, and further alcoves just beyond them, which light the way going forwards. None of these candles are lit. And the priest is slumped, still very badly beaten in your arms. Are you going to keep going?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. You continue to press on through this chamber, and it carries you for quite a while. You're not sure how long, but to be honest, in a place this confined, it's hard for you to gauge. You're just walking, and even though you don't feel a build-up of, acid in your muscles or similar. It's still an uncomfortable position to be stuck in. But then before long, the chamber evens out into just a square room with a very small set of steps going down into it. And you can see on the far side of the room what looks to be skeletons, which have been led out. There looks to be a small wooden cross, and there looks to be a full set of plate armor, which is just placed in the corner.
I'm assuming this is, if you like, this room is where this passage goes to, and that's it. So what I think I'll do is I will put the priest down here, because this is about as safe as it can be to put in. And then what I think I will do is I'll have a little curiosity, or probably make me inspect the room a little.
Okay.
I'm not going to touch anything though. But then probably I'll make my way back. But because obviously I've got Silence of Death up, and I'll be using my senses to try and ascertain a better thing.
Do intelligence plus either academics or melee.
I'm going to take academics, surprising nobody.
No problem.
One success and one skull, although, I've already got compulsion, so what's the worst that can happen, eh?
Famous last words.
I just like to make him happy,
It does make me happy. You can't really deduce much about the things that you're looking at, but the wood looks very old on the cross, but well maintained. It looks faded, as though it's been handled a lot. The armor is extremely old, but again well kept, but small in size. The skeletons they look almost childlike in size. Either that or they're just short adults. It's hard to tell, because they do look as though their bones are formed. But it's difficult for you to tell, especially on such a cursory inspection.
Okay, so I'm going to creep back up. I'm not just going to leap back out, and I'll just be listening for the sounds of monstrous things approaching. Yeah.
Okay. You begin approaching the hole, and you can't hear anything really from the chamber, which is worrying. But you're not sure whether or not you prefer the silence to the sound of death and conflict. I mean, the likely end scenario of that fight, they could be waiting on the other side of that hole.
But I'm assuming that they weren't very quiet, if there were a bunch of hulking wolves.
Well, you didn't hear them enter the actual building.
But with heightened senses, I imagine that you can hear very soft footfalls. And I'm thinking about how he is going to.
If you want to roll wits plus awareness, you can.
I will when I'm kind of not going out, but getting to the bit that leads to the hole. Yeah.
Okay.
I think I will.
Yeah, sure. So you managed to get all the way up to the incline, bringing you back up towards that slab.
Yeah. 4 successes.
Okay. You hear voices.
Okay.
Voices which are very soft. One female, one male. And then the voices stop. And then there is a familiar voice, which you know immediately. Remove the bags.
Do as he says.
The black bags begin getting pulled off. And then, in the moment, there is a snap, and Nancy returns,
Okay.
coming from one of the back rooms, and as she shuts, she immediately drops into a bow, staring at the prince, but he doesn't acknowledge her. She just does the bow, and then steps around towards the constable, who's already beginning to heal. Where's the others of your coterie, Nosferatu?
I lost Benjamin in the fight, my prince. He was here. Katya's turn. I have not been able to contact her.
He is responsible for a lot of death. Tell me, why, after the warning I gave you, you should not share in the fate that I am about to bestow upon him.
Because we believe that his breach of the Masquerade, of course, was not intentional. And even though it happened, it must be punished. It is related to something that's probably bigger than ourselves, my prince.
Explain.
What happened to our haven, it was a planned demolition. It was not just an explosion, which makes me believe that we have been targeted.
Then you've made unwise enemies. But why does this concern his breach?
Because it would be either the Sabbat who have been attacking and who had captured me so they would know where my haven was, or there is something out there, or someone, Camarilla or not, kindred or not, that might suspect and needs to be found and silenced.
So you do not think he deserves leniency?
It was a high number of breaches. If you wish to bestow him leniency, given the nature of the attack, given how subtle and insidious it was, an explosion and fire will throw most kindred into a frenzy. Should you choose to bestow him leniency over those grounds, we would be most grateful.
Even if I were merciful, as you said, this is not his first offense. This is not the first offense for many of you. On that grounds, I have been exceptionally lenient.
And we're most thankful for it, Your Highness.
Find your coterie mate.
Yes. Run. Looking for Benjamin. I have no idea where he went. So I know he went to the room I went to look for the sword. So I look for either a splatter of blood where he used to live, or like a window or a crack or something. Like,
Yeah.
So when, by the way, when that conversation was playing out and Benjamin realised the threat was over, he would have gone back and got the priest and started taking him back up the stairs. So I don't know how long that'll take, but that's what he decided to do.
So you'd be in there having a look, and you would have found the move slab. And whether or not you went in or not is going to dictate whereabouts you meet him. But
he's gonna start. Benjamin? Ben?
Do I hear that?
you'd hear the echo.
Ben?
Yes. I'm coming.
Do I hear it coming from the...
You see his eyes flash as he starts making his way up the stairs. The unconscious form of the priest
I
in
will
tow.
squint away.
No.
That's very painful.
What are you doing with the priest? What are you doing with the priest? Give me the priest. And I start going downstairs to take the priest. Give me the priest. Give me the priest.
I'll say I have him.
Better not drop him.
I had to save him from the wolves.
Smart. Very smart. One more person asking for leniency. Smart. Put him in a safe place.
So the bed he was on, I'm going to put him down. I'm going to carefully arrange him as he was. Take my time. Then I'm going to go back, start sliding the slab back into place.
It's not quiet, but it goes back in.
Oh no, I don't care if it's not quiet.
Ben, that slab can wait. We need to talk to the prince. He asked me to get you.
This is not as it should be yet. And I'm going to start putting the desk back into place.
Ben, come.
No, not yet. Not yet. Have a look. There are things that seem to be on the floor so I'll start putting them back on. To get everything just as it should be.
I don't know if he's going through like a mad panic attack or whatever. So I just go out to the constable. I was like, apologies, it's taking long. Benjamin actually had been protecting the father. So he's now safely on his bed. And Benjamin will be out shortly. I'll be right back. And I just run. Ben, come on. And I try to pull him.
Have I got everything as I think it should be?
Meh.
No, then keep going.
I try to grab him like come.
I'll resist.
Okay. Strength plus brawl from you both.
It's gonna be hilarious.
No, hang on, let's bring it on. 4 successes.
I only got 2.
He is dug his heels in. He is not going anywhere.
I'm just going to be putting the last things just fixedly putting them
And
into place.
I'm so high in hunger. I actually took a risk rolling only red dice. I'm so high in hunger. I don't wanna rouse for anything and bring it like potence or whatever. I just
critical. Rip his arm.
yeah, something like that. Something stupid. So I go out and make excuses for him again. It's like he's almost here. He was making sure that everything was in order and no one had followed us. And I just run again.
Okay. If I'm happy, I assume I'm happy now.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, I will go out into the... obviously I'll see you.
I grab him and it's like, come on! And I start like dragging him into the room. Maybe I'm looking into the eye. Here we are, my prince.
So I will look the prince in the eye and I will bow. Maybe slightly... Well, if he remembers, it will be slightly slower than the last time I did it. But nonetheless, I will bow.
As your coterie mate is not in condition to defend himself, I give you the chance to speak on his behalf.
If anyone should suffer, my prince, it should be his sire. She did not teach him, and she threatened to destroy me if I did not tell her where Jim was being taken. And she sent these wolves here to your city, and I look at the constable, your domain, to destroy us all.
This is not conjecture, my prince. This is not the first time we have met these lupines. that there, his name is Graham McEwen. We had him and his pack in our domain.
And yet you live.
Because I had to deal with Jim's sire, Alicia. She'd been the one who had drew them into the domain, and she had to be the one who take them out. I have no idea what sort of power she had over them. I don't know if she had ghouled one of them. I have no clue. But she brought lupines into our domain to exert dominance over us, trying to get boons out of it, and risking breaches of the Masquerade.
She does not respect the traditions or your law. She has to be stopped.
Like sire, like child, then. Or do you really wish to defend him?
His actions are his own, but she is at the root.
In this attack to the church and the constable, it's evident Alicia sent the lupines to help Jim avoid his fate, denying you the possibility of judgment and enforcing your law in your own city.
My Petit Moore. Constable steps up next to him. I want a word with Alicia. It seems their entire line should be forfeit.
I do know she's not in town, my prince, but
Do you think that would stop me?
No. That's not what I imply. I imply that I could help track her down.
Stand him up.
Do as he says. Like, not much. I've seen the guy use a blade. I'm not gonna.
So you lift him?
Yeah, as best as I can. Although he's pretty much crispy and light, so.
I'm not lifting him up.
Okay. Emrys lifts his blade out. And he steps up towards you and Jim. No more warnings. And with a speed that you have never seen before, he flicks the blade. And Jim becomes lighter in your hands, as his head is severed from his body. And he drops.
I never stop looking at Emrys in the eye, but I do lower Jim slowly, and then I just do the sign of the cross on his chest. Descansa en paz, amigo mío. I stand up again.
I will be watching your progress with unfortunate interest.
Understood, my prince.
Do you understand, Malkavian?
Yes, I understand.
Clean this mess up. And he turns and he walks towards the door. Pulls open the door, and he steps outside. Sword resheathed and tucked underneath the coat. And the door shuts behind him. The constable sheathed her sword. Makes the sign of the cross over Jim
Yeah, I'm kneeling beside him.
with his head. And then lowers it back down. And then she turns and steps into the side room. Nancy following, dragging Gideon. And the door shuts.
I assume it's like 5 in the morning.
At this time, it's about 20 past 3.
Okay. I go to the downstairs area where I spent the first night when I spent it here. Is there still an area there where we can spend the night?
Yeah.
Let's get cleaning. The first thing I'm gonna do is take Jim's body, make sure that it's well taken care of, put it on the ossuary on the side, and start cleaning up this mess.
So, shouldn't the constable be going after Alicia now? The prince ordered it.
Yes, she needs to heal. She needs to gather her strength. Probably she needs to feed
But,
and let her frenzy pass.
but we know where Alicia's going now. She should go now,
Where?
after Sarah. Jim told Alicia where. Not where, but that Sarah was in trouble. Alicia will go there now. I'll go over to the side door. You know where the constable went? I'll knock.
What is she doing?
She needs to know. It is the prince's order. And I want Alicia dead.
The door opens, but it's not the constable.
Okay.
It's Nancy, who just leans in the doorway. Yep.
Alicia knows that Sarah, Jim's sister, is in danger, and she will be going to help her now. So, this is a good time to catch Alicia.
Where?
Tell her the address. No, outside of London North.
Not exactly a good time to go.
Yep. It'll be done in a few hours.
Do I have any idea how long it would take to get there?
About an hour and a half?
So, what would it be like? 5 in
Five.
the morning. So, and sunrise is around?
5, 6-ish.
So it'd be tight.
Yeah, but no time for way back. And no haven there. That's what I'm saying.
Do we know any kindred in that area?
Stop it, Ben. Sorry, Nancy. Jim was just executed. Show a little respect. Help me clean up this mess. And let's take care of Alicia tomorrow in the first moment we have.
I'm assuming it's still in play. I'll look around and say, I'm not cleaning this. I'm going to walk out of church.
Okay.
I walk behind him. I grab him by the arm and spin him. Like, well, at least you're helping me feed. Remember? Feeds of 2?
Yes,
I am as hungry as Jim usually was.
I'm hungry too. We should feed.
Okay. How about we clean up this mess? And then we hunt. Or, how about we hunt and we clean up this mess?
We hunt first.
And then we clean up this mess. I need you to say it. I need to hear it. You're gonna help me with this, as I'm gonna help you with your feet.
When we have hunted, then we can clean up. But hunt first.
Okay, fine. But then you come and help me clean.
Yes.
Okay. Have it your way then. Move.
Where are you going to hunt?
Our choices are very, very limited.
Yeah.
Our domain is
Oh no, it's a car crash.
the worst place to hunt in the history of kindred kind.
Mm-hmm.
After the explosion of last night, police present decided to speak, and that's the only domain in which we can hunt without poaching.
Well, for once, Benjamin's going to be okay to poach.
Okay.
I mean,
So, what are you doing, guys?
Poaching, I guess.
yeah.
We're poaching in an area of
Where
high
you
traffic.
are now?
No.
No.
Okay, so
We're going to an area of high traffic. Like a lot of people that we can.
We're going to an area where we know at the very least is not the princes or the constables.
Yeah, something like that.
You know.
okay.
Can we feed in your gallery? Is your gallery open?
I'm assuming the museum will be shut at like 3 in the morning.
Well, maybe yeah, but
Sorry,
is the street behind the museum?
Yeah, actually, I assume.
Pretty close. To
Yeah,
where you are.
I'll stop and think and say yes.
We'll go there.
Yes.
Okay.
And I will make a mental judgment that, I mean, this street is right next to it and this is yours and you have the deed, so technically it belongs to you. I mean, you pay for council tax either way.
No, this
I'm
is mine.
poaching his territory.
I'll say this is mine. It was given to me. We can hunt here.
I trust him. I'm not going to dispute that. I'm hungry.
Okay.
Very hungry.
So you're going to go and hunt in the proximity of the gallery.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. What method are you using to hunt?
I would imagine we're going to sandman it.
Sandman it all the way.
Okay.
We don't want to be seen. I'm triple sure that if there's any security cameras or whatever, I can just grab my laptop, go into his probably he has like an office.
Are you going into the gallery?
I don't know. Do you have the keys to your own gallery?
You have a set, and Amelia does.
Yes.
Okay.
But there will not be many people to feed on inside.
In fact, probably the only people you could feed on is the security officer and Amelia.
Why do you want to go in?
Don't you have like a security officer?
We're not feeding on my security officer.
Okay.
He's mine. We'll feed on someone outside.
Okay. I keep a lookout for cameras and whatever and help him.
Okay. Unless you're planning on going to a residential area, the best you're going to find is...
No, we're going into a residential area because it's a lot easier. At 3:30 in the morning,
Yeah.
almost 4, it's gonna be more deserted.
Okay, I'll need 2 checks then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm going to need... Only one of you can make the first one.
Okay.
It's going to be... Dex plus larceny.
Whew, I have that. Do you have that?
I might, yes.
Because whoever doesn't make this check is making the next one.
So whomever is making this one is not making the next.
No, because one person is going to provide a means for the other person to get in. Because this is a more...
Like secure area.
Yeah.
Can I assist as I have the skill?
Yeah, you can assist.
But not roll.
Yeah.
Did we recover willpower?
No.
That could be quite exciting.
You were in the middle...
After killing a werewolf.
Yes, and then watching your coterie mate get
Yeah.
killed. No. Okay.
I would re-roll, but there are so many red dice that I cannot.
It takes you a while to find a door that you can get
Yeah. We take as long as necessary. I mean, of course, before dawn.
Feel free to take as long as you need.
I mean, we're not far from his gallery. We can sleep there.
Yep, that's fine.
But yeah, we take our time.
Okay. You do finally find a door which is... You're able to jimmy it. And the reason you're able to jimmy it is because it looks as though at some point the window was broken. And although it has been repanelled, it has not been repanelled properly. So as you slide your hand up the glass unslots and you can fit your hand up and in to undo the lock. And then as the door opens, you're going into feed.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, Dex plus Stealth.
Does my specialty apply?
Yes.
Break-in.
Spend a point of willpower.
Oh my god.
Yep.
I am so unlucky today. 3 successes.
Okay. You do manage to find a middle-aged couple which are in separate single beds. And as you go in, they don't waken. The floor is relatively sound. It looks to be a relatively modern.
I mean, I'll be
building.
using Silence of Death anyway at this point.
Well, then you won't know that it's a relatively modern building. It looks quite nice. But as you move in, who are you going to feed from? This is going to dictate what resonance you have. A male or female?
Well, I imagine he will actually take a few minutes to walk around between the two, kind of looking at them and deciding which he'd like to feed on. He might go back and forth a few times.
I stand next to him and I go like,
I will be unaware of Moses pretty much. So I think whichever one, after a bit of like thinking about it, weighing it up,
Please, I thought you were going to be like, I stick my head out and scream.
I don't think it affects his noise.
Oh, in that case.
oh, so I go like, come on.
I'll just hold a finger. So yeah, whichever one I think seems, I suppose in my current mindset, whichever one looks strongest, I suppose, or fittest, or healthiest, or most, you know.
The female.
All right, I will feed on her.
I go home on the guy.
Okay. How much? What are your hunger levels?
3.
Okay.
Yeah,
How much would you like to try and take?
I want to try and take 1 or 2.
Okay. So I need a willpower check from you.
Oh man,
Good luck.
get the humanity right.
Yes, that's why I'm asking. Like, did we get any? No. Oh, my mini pool. My very mini
This is the danger of spending so much willpower.
Or die to the guru. I mean,
Werewolves are a good excuse.
Oh, I don't just mean like werewolves.
Oh yeah.
5 successes, critical win.
Okay. You both recover 2
Yeah.
willpower. The resonance for her
Yes.
is trying to
Sanguine.
no, melancholy,
Melancholy.
and for him is phlegmatic.
Phlegmatic. Okay.
So you both take the amount of blood you need to.
Yes.
Make the wounds, seal them.
Yeah.
Slip back out, and then Moses puts his fingers on the pane of glass and slowly pushes it back up, and using a long nail just slits it back in place. And you slip away.
Feeling better?
Yes.
Let's go clean the mess. And I just start walking to his car.
I'll go. Hang on. How long do I think we've got before we need to like get some sleep? As in how long? Because I don't want to be rushing to the sun.
Probably about an hour and a half.
And how long is it to the church, roughly?
20, 30 minutes. Less than that if you're quick in the car.
I'm not going to be quick enough.
Then-
I'll go at my pace.
20, 30 minutes.
So basically, it's about an hour each way. So we'd have half an hour of cleaning, basically.
There's a place where we can sleep there.
Hang on. So I'll say, for me to get, there will only be half an hour of cleaning time.
No,
It's
about an
hardly
hour.
worth it.
We
Not-
can sleep there. There's a place for us to sleep there.
Hmm.
Shelter for the night. Also, wouldn't you like to maybe spend the daylight hours in a place that is still protected by the constable and a couple of her hounds?
Yes, and I want to speak to the constable tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. First, we clean the mess. Do you have things to clean the mess, like
Oh
black
yes.
bean bags?
Yes, I have things to clean the mess. Lots of things.
Can you bring them all, please?
They're in the car. It's good to be prepared. Well, Jim had called me.
Oh, yeah. Now that makes sense. Okay, cool. Do you have any like industrial cleaners from the gallery that we could use?
I mean, I assume they would have something.
In the cleaning gallery?
I'll say, but
In the gallery?
the only thing is though, with an old church, I'm assuming you can't use, or there is a risk to using kind of industrial strength cleaning stuff in like some like super protected ancient church. I'm assuming. So all right, Benjamin will just say.
You're acting detective, dude.
Benjamin will say. It might be dangerous to use those things in the church.
Are they flammable?
No.
Okay.
Some of them might be. I was thinking about the machines,
Oh, so
the
they
industrial cleaning machines that they use.
Nah. Let's just go and clean stuff. You just get in the car, but I'm a little worried, so I just put on my seatbelt.
So I'll get in the car. When I hear the click, nod a little satisfied to myself, put the seatbelt on, and I will drive in a very safe, sensible manner
To.
to the church.
Okay. So you start making your way back towards the church. Is there anything you want to discuss before you get back?
Yeah, is there anything Moses is saying on the way back?
This is very unlike you. Are you okay?
We were just attacked by werewolves.
And in true to Benjamin fashion, you freaked out.
No, I did not freak out. I found a way out.
You didn't even blink when they beheaded Jim. Are you alright?
It is sad what happened to Jim. But a lot has happened. A lot has happened. I haven't had time to think about it. And I'm angry, Moses.
Angry?
Yes, that Alicia did this. She threatened me on the phone. She threatened me after I'd spent all of that time trying to help Jim. And then she just tramples on the law of the city, on the traditions.
People are thankless sometimes.
We have to hunt her down, Moses, and destroy her, so that she can't do anything to us.
Yeah, see, you're right. We have to hunt her down. We, the constable and her hounds.
Yes, it is the prince's duty to deal with this problem. I'm glad that he sees it that way. He must be furious as well.
Well, he wouldn't have ordered the entire bloodline to be
Yes,
severed.
it is good.
So he was very angry, but I'm glad that he wasn't that angry. Because Jim's head would not been the only one rolling tonight.
Yes. I think that's why I'm angry too. Because we didn't do any of this. And
No.
we're being held responsible.
Yeah, but you like rules. Weren't the rules very clear in the beginning?
Yes. But we tried to tell him. We tried to tell him to be careful.
Yes, we did.
He didn't listen. He ignored our advice.
I totally get it. But the past cannot be changed. And tonight, the thought that you should have in your head is not to be thankless as Alicia, but to be thankful to the prince, because he chose to ignore, bend, overlook, or however you want to call it, his own ruling and allow us and Katya to live.
Well, he must have seen that it will be foolish to make us suffer for this.
No. Be thankful. Just because. Don't be like Alicia. Don't try to go over it.
I will never be like Alicia.
Then, the next time you see the prince, make it abundantly clear that you're thankful for him showing us mercy. Didn't look like it tonight. Now, regarding Alicia, if it will make you feel better, if we find her, I'll let you know. When we find her.
You are right about one thing, Moses. That is that you can't change the past. But the past can repeat itself.
Only if you're stupid.
No, I don't think it's going to be like that. I don't think it's going to be a person being stupid. I think something's going to happen. I thought it was to you. I thought you were going to be the one. But I think you might be the only one that will survive.
The fuck?
Do you remember I had a vision before?
Oh shit, this again. Yes.
I've had another one tonight before we met you.
So another guy rapes off my head and tears it out?
No. You're the only one that's not on fire.
Of course, because I'm never around things that explode.
No, I think you might be alright. I don't know how or why, but I think you might survive. But
Because I'm a coward.
I don't know about anyone
World
else.
class.
I don't think the others are going to survive.
When you say the others.
I mean everybody. I think something's coming, and I think it's happened before, and it's going to happen again. I want to talk to the constable about it. I think she'll understand. But she seems too busy doing something.
Yeah, finding Alicia. And before that, covering up Jim's Bridge of the Masquerade. And before that, the Sabbat. And before that...
No, she is in that room. She's not looking for Alicia. She's probably praying. That's what she does most of the time.
And heal. Did you know that she had to kill the remains of the mortal family that Jim slaughtered?
Gideon said.
You know when was the last time she killed Cain?
No.
Well, let's say it's been a very long while.
Do you think she keeps the bodies? Because there were bodies under the church. Old ones.
You mean like an ossuary? Like skeleton remains?
Yes, skeletal remains, yes. Small skeletons.
Did you know old Catholic churches used to be mausoleums and graves? It's hollowed ground. Priests are interred in some of the churches, saints or knights. Of course, they stopped doing it some time ago, but there's a lot of very old churches around here. So, was that what, that's where you were hiding with the priest, right? In the catacombs. Yeah, okay, yeah, makes sense. You will find like all the remains of all the priests that have served there as head priest of the church. The odd saint.
You know this thing that's coming, whatever it is. I think...
You mean the fire that's gonna kill everything and everyone except the most sexy Nosferatu alive?
Yes.
Sure.
Shit, lucky Jake, of course you're gonna survive.
Sorry, is Plucky Jake in the car?
No, he's not.
Well, I can never tell, right? He could just be here.
Then I know I'm doing it right. Sorry.
I think Edmund is involved.
Oh, something is wrong, very wrong with Edmund. I've been
Well-
asking around, and something's very, very, very wrong with him.
Edmund is dead. I don't know what that thing is.
You are dead as well.
No.
I am.
No. Dead. Dead like Jim is dead.
When was this? What happened? How
No.
did the constable?
No. No. The thing that calls itself Edmund is still walking. Is still. But I know now. I'd always known it, Moses, always. But now I know.
So-
now I really know.
So someone is posing as Edmund.
Yes, I suppose. Something. But Edmund is dead. He's gone. And he said that something was coming. In fact, the real Edmund said something was coming.
Wait,
Well-
wait. You really, really, really believe someone is trying to, like, disguise himself as Edmund, or trying to make himself look like Edmund?
All I can tell you,
Like I sometimes make myself look like other people.
perhaps.
I remember shaking his hand and feeling very, very different from Edmund's hand. It felt like needles
Then maybe,
and bone, just bone.
maybe it isn't him then. I mean, as in, it only looks like him. I don't know.
Do you know if he's still wearing gloves?
I haven't seen him since the court. But I think he is part of this. And I think lots of people are going to burn. But not you. I think you'll be okay.
That's not very comforting.
I don't know if I'll be okay.
Can you see your own future? Can you try?
Not while I'm driving.
Want me to drive?
No.
What if you have a vision in the middle of driving?
I won't.
Have you had control of your visions in the past?
No, but I will control them now. Don't worry, I can control this. I'll be fine.
Oh, famous last words, buddy.
If something happens, I'll stop the car.
It's happening. I'm a bit freaked out. Your visions are not very comforting.
I think you should be freaked out. Once we've dealt with Alicia, we need to deal
Stop it with the
this.
we. Stop it with the we. You're not coming. We find her, we take care of her. I show you pictures. Or maybe bring you along for the ride at the end. You're not coming.
If she's not dead already, I'd like to help Sarah.
That's two of us because I want to find out what happened with Alan Burr.
It was the last thing Jim asked of me, was to look after his sister.
Then we should make sure that she's okay.
Yes.
Pull over.
Why?
Because I need a phone. Just pull over near a payphone.
I will
Sensibly pull
over sensibly in my own time to a phone
Okay.
when I'm ready.
So-
There's someone. Dude. The word. Go around the block. Dude.
That one was too close. This one will be better.
No, this one won't work. This one has a lot of light. Go for the next one.
And this one has a better place to park, nearer the phone.
I'm gonna hack into the system. I will.
You did not mention that you were hacking.
Yeah.
So I'll probably go on to another one or whatever, but you know.
It's just go to a one payphone, in which I can use, you know, the little and a little modem. just to connect to the BBS to see what's in the news regarding Alan Burr. Or the 999 call that I gave, and if they found anything or any of that.
Okay. Wits plus technology.
Emphasis, specialty applies. Do I want to?
Spend your last remaining willpower points.
Shit, yeah.
I mean, whatever you roll, you will have at least made Titus happy. That's the important
Yeah.
thing.
Willpower.
Look to that.
5 successes.
Okay.
Much better.
So you managed to connect. And although there's not an awful amount of information that's live, I mean, there's an explosion in the city. It's still pretty big news by comparison. You do manage to pick up on points that police officers had gone to the location. They found a headless body and no one else. The headless body is still being identified. Next of kin have not been informed.
Male, female?
Doesn't say.
And under that note, fully depressed and impaired, I shut up the rest of the way to the church.
So when he gets back in the car, I will say, did you learn anything? As we start to drive towards the church.
Well, let's say Jim's not the only one who lost his head tonight.
I don't think that police officer would decapitate someone, do you?
No, me neither. I would think Alicia would decapitate someone, but then
Yes.
again, I never knew that police officer. He had threatened to kill Sarah, and he wanted to kill Alan. So he wanted 2 people dead.
Yes, he was obviously unhinged.
Exactly. So he could have.
So he might, I suppose, but it sounds like Alicia.
Hopefully.
Then she'll already be gone.
Well, yeah, it's
Or
an hour and so to noon to sun going up and.
do you think she meant her threat? Because I do. I think when she hears about Jim, she'll come looking.
That's why we're keeping you close in the church with the constable.
Right.
You are both our bait and at your safest. Does that make sense?
Yes.
The last thing I want to do is lose another coterie member now.
You pull up towards the church, and you're already starting to feel the early stages of lethargy. Not full on, but it's there. And coupled with your sapped will at this point, you truly feel like you just don't want to move. Your body's non-compliant, at least to the degree that it normally is, and it's taken a conscious effort to make it do anything. So in time, you get out of the car, you return into the church, and immediately the strong stink of fur and blood rushes to meet you. The door that was open before, that was closed before, is open. The side door leading off towards where the constable was. But otherwise, the place hasn't changed.
You just walk in straight to James' body. Put it in the bag and take it downstairs where we're gonna sleep.
Okay.
But before that, when I'm going in front of the altar, I just, put it downstairs. I look in the debris as I am cleaning for one of the cereal, like the big candles. So I can put it downstairs together with some small candles, so I can light them up next to where he's resting. And I do this as I clean. So I will make it for the first of his night, because there's something called novenario. I don't know the name in English, don't ask for it. In which you hold mass for 9 days after burial. But first you have the wake. So all of that pre-stuff. So right now is like the equivalent of doing a mini wake for Jim.
Okay.
I've had a great idea.
Oh shit.
So what I'm going to do is I am going to start cleaning, but I'm not just going to like scrub normally. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clean selectively. So it's basically by rubbing out bits of the gore, I can create art in the church. And I'm going to make a painting of the church whilst I clean.
Okay, using.
Well, as in, so there's gore all up the walls, right?
Yeah.
So if you remove, you can basically make like lines in the gore to make images and things.
So there will
right?
be places where the blood's there, and then a streak of clean.
Yeah, and then another
in the
place,
middle.
Yeah,
And with the colors of the wall.
and then if you do enough of it all over, then if you were zoomed back enough and you were look down on the church floor, or you would see there might be a picture, an image there.
Moses have been through such an emotional roller coaster the last few nights, starting with the whole Lucy and smiling man going through the torture of Alexander, and then last night. He both literally and figuratively doesn't have even the will to tell him to stop. Like, I see him and I am so, like, I'm resigned as to the only thing I want to do right now is clean as much as I can and then fall asleep praying for my friend and in his wake, and we'll see how we do the burial in 2 days or 3 days.
I mean, I imagine to an outside observer, it just looks like I'm cleaning in the most ridiculous and random fashion.
You are.
Like I clean for a bit here, and then I wander off somewhere over there and clean a bit on the floor, and then
I don't have it in me.
But I am cleaning.
I don't have it in me to even voice it. I will not even open my mouth.
Okay.
Because, he might have told me to clean it up, but I'm going to clean it up my way. God damn it.
It's
I mean, this is a prelude of Moses loses a second coterie member.
it's an equally productive end of morning. There's some cleaning done.
Yeah, because we don't very long, do we?
Yeah,
No.
and there is some, to the trained eye, art taking place. But before long, the fatigue starts overcoming you all, and you're forced to join Jim down below in order to slumber. And you, neither of you, go to sleep with a clear mind. Moses, before you sleep, the images are of Jim's expression when you bit him. And to you, there is the image of that familiar figure who is sat next to you, staring. And then he looks over to where Jim is. And there is just a long, dreadlocked, blonde individual just counting his fingers. And then he stops and he picks up Jim's foot and begins rubbing. And then he just lowers it, and then you go to sleep.
Just fall asleep with a normal prayer.
So, I need rouse checks from you two.
I don't have the will, nor the hunger.
Okay. Okay, so what's your hunger levels?
2.
3. Going back up again.
Okay. When you wake in the morning, in the evening,
Yeah, that one.
yeah,
Preferably.
it is to find the crypt just as dark as it was when you went in. The candles have gone out, and Jim is where you left him. Although he is not as whole as he was, he started to decay. But as you start making your way upstairs, you find the place still in disarray, with the bodies lumped around. And now that you've had a proper chance to look, you know that Amy wasn't among them. The side door is open. The occupants have gone.
So there's no one in the church.
You can't. Well, no, you can't see anyone in the room.
Okay. Is the priest around?
Can't see him in there.
The slab, has it moved? I mean, he made a big display of putting it in a very specific way. Is it still like that?
Pretty much still in place.
I start wandering around. Well, like picking up stuff. If I find something broken, I just grab it. Constable, Nancy. I'm looking for Gideon as well. He
was dragged out with Nancy.
Yeah, I know. But where did they put him? Also, do they have like caskets or coffins? Or, well, they shouldn't, but I'm grasping at straws here.
No.
I'm assuming things are still in play. So I'm going to get back to finishing my art.
Okay. So, he returns to making this inefficient cleaning attempt.
But he's cleaning, right? Sometimes he just goes there and removes some blood.
Oh yeah, I am definitely cleaning, and the bits I clean very thoroughly.
Okay.
With very clean lines, mostly. Apart from where it's not appropriate artistically.
Probably he wants to do it in a very specific manner. He has like, I don't know, OCD. I don't know. At this point, I don't care either.
Okay.
I'm looking for some comfort, so I am looking for a post-frenzy Constable Jacqueline.
Okay, so where are you going to look?
All church. All places that I can go except the sleeping chambers of the priest himself.
Okay. You don't find her anywhere. She can't be seen.
No notes?
No.
No nothing?
No.
I text Gideon, or actually ring him, in hopes that Nancy is nearby and grabs the phone, because I don't have her number. And
So you're ringing
Gideon.
Okay.
Also, maybe I can hear the ring and I walk to his body, or I can hear the bzzz. Oh, I don't know.
Yep, the ringing seems to be coming from under the slab.
Oh, okay.
You still going in?
No, I'm just ringing.
Bzzz. 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 Bzzz.
Not even voicemail. He thinks I am the barbarian.
Bzzz.
Nancy, please pick
Bzzz.
up.
Bzzz. Bzzz.
I go to the phone on the landline. Just disconnect the phone, put a microfilter, put the line again, put a modem.
Okay.
Looking for information from last night.
Okay.
Basic stuff. I'm not trying to hack anything. It's not just information.
Okay. As you are connecting up, you get a phone call.
A phone call?
Yeah. Bzzz.
The thing is, I'm trying to do my art.
Bzzz.
Oh my
Bzzzt. Bzzzt.
I'll have a look. Do I recognize the number?
Daniel.
I'll
Bzzzt.
answer it. Hello?
Where are you?
I'm in a church.
Where's Amelia?
She should be at the gallery.
Bzzzt.
What was that?
Phone hung up.
I'm gonna call Amelia.
Bzzzt. Bzzzt. Hello?
Hello. It's me. Is everything alright?
Yes, everything's fine. Are you okay?
Yes.
Are you sure? You don't sound okay. 2 seconds, please. And one of... Yes, thank you. And then you hear... And then you can hear cars. Benjamin?
Oh. Yes. Yes. Alright, good. Alright, I'll be in touch. I just wanted to check you're alright. That's all.
Whereabouts are you?
I'm in a church. It's a long story.
Okay, well, we've got some more hirees for the gallery. And I've also secured another line of finances for the refurbishments.
Good. Very good.
Well, I do need to run them past you and I need a few signatures. But other than that, I think everything should be set.
Good. I'll be there when I finish this. Hopefully tonight.
Okay. Right, take care. And call me if you need me.
I will. Right, back to me art.
Okay. So you go back to your app. So you've connected up and you're looking for information on...
News on the area, I mean, beheaded body.
Okay.
Unless they try to hide it, he's gonna hit that. He's gonna hit the tabloid.
Okay. So... How much information are you trying to get? Just basic information?
Yeah, the basic.
Okay. Just double check my stuff. Hmm. Okay. The body was of a police officer, as yet unnamed, that had gone there to investigate the call. The call that had been made by a neighbour.
Yeah. No residents, no nothing.
There's very little information you can find without actually what it seems like. Until they've got all the information, and they're not really quick to leap on and start broadcasting stuff, especially with everything going wrong at the moment.
Yeah.
There's only so much false information that people will tolerate being chucked at them.
Okay, cool. I think we have a shot. So I'll go outside and let Benjamin know. Like, hey, I think your plan to get Alicia might actually work.
I'm listening.
One little problem, we need to find Sarah.
Yes. I thought that would be something you'd be good at.
You missed the spot.
No, that's perfect. I'm gonna go off and do a bit more.
Okay.
We need to find Sarah. Can you use your...
If we knew where they'd been, or a trail maybe, or if they were close, it doesn't work. I don't make these things happen. I mean, I can notice details, but I'm not a tracker. If we had something of hers, I think Katia would be able to find her. Because she found... I'll go and start working on her on the floor. She found the Thin Bloods. It was strange, like, she had this... Like, she could see something I couldn't see, and it led her there. It was a clan thing. I don't know much about her clan.
Speaking of which, I send a message to Katia. We need to talk about Jim. It's important.
Okay.
And
I asked Jim about the police officer, if he knew where he might be keeping Sarah, but Jim didn't know. But he said they spent a lot of time together.
Whom?
Jim and the sergeant.
Where?
He didn't say. I think he meant that they had grown up or had history, but he didn't know where he'd be keeping Sarah. Didn't you try to find him?
Last night? I know where he made a call, but until such a time...
Where?
Well, he made a call in the address 1.5 hours away from him, remember? That's the last place I could track his movements, but he's not using that phone anymore. And Sarah's phone is disconnected. I try Alan Burr's mobile, just out of curiosity, but not calling. I try to ping it.
The number you have dialed has not been recognised.
No, it's not. I'm not dialing.
You're not dialing.
I'm pinging it to find the last location, like the last log. It's like this tower caught it, like.
Okay. At his house.
At his house. What time?
About the same time that a phone call was put through to him. By you.
Okay. I hate doing this. I tried to see in the log what other phone calls were picked up by that tower.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's a technology role.
Yep.
Network supply.
No.
Intelligence? Wits?
Intelligence.
I'm impaired. Nothing. Zero successes. No bestials.
It's extremely difficult for you to try and track down. But the amount of time that it spends, it wastes doing it, you become uncomfortably aware that you are currently in a state where time is
super precious, yeah.
Yeah.
But if I don't know where to start, and if I go there, there's going to be police officers investigating the scene of the crime, and it's not like I can blend in my state.
Well, he's thinking I'll just be doing my business.
Okay. So the artwork is going pretty well.
Good.
it's takes you a moment to kind of look back and consider it, and then as you look over to one of the statues that's in the church, you realise that a lot of the work that you've been doing has been put on hold, and you've begun to paint the feet and the fingers of the statue.
Oh.
And without meaning to, you've been replicating the motions of the individual you saw before you went into day sleep.
Well, he's been, going. Some of his last artwork actually, he's been allowing things to kind of blend together, so it's not going to.
Okay. So after you continue your art and you fail to find the information you're after, what is your plans? What are you doing?
Well, I finished the art.
Okay. Does anyone ever truly finish art?
I mean, there is a question. There is something specific he's trying to achieve.
Okay.
Would you like to know what it is?
Sure.
So what he's doing is he's replicating part of the vision that he had. So because there are bodies on the floor, so he can do like the flames around the bodies, and he can do stuff on the walls, and where there's like scratches and smudges, he can accentuate those into as if people have been like turned into charred ash, and that kind of thing.
Okay, well, to that aim, you succeed marvellously. Given that the place is already the scene of a grisly...
Yeah, but it's specific, yeah. He's trying to kind of recreate that apocalyptic vision.
And he's doing it amazingly.
Well, then he's, because,
One might say he even feels chuffed.
Does he feel like he has, I don't know, come up with an ingenious way to...
Yes.
But I assume there's a slow...
Slow come down.
Yeah, okay. In that case, he will just stand back and like look approvingly at the church and nod. Yes. Yes, I think that's it. So Moses, where are we going to go now?
I don't know.
We could go to Alan Burr's house, if you know where that is.
I know where that is, but it's... What will that get us, other than a wasted hour and a half all the way there to a place that is going to be buzzing with law enforcement? I'm hungry, because last night was not enough. Expecting to find what? A clue that they have missed? And then what?
Do you know Alan Burr well?
Yes.
Do you know where he would go if he was under threat?
Other than the panic room in his house?
Yes, other than the panic room.
Nowhere else. That's why you have a panic room.
If the police are already there.
I called 999 last night, and a police officer showed up, and he was beheaded. So it makes me think that Alan Burr and Sarah are either both alive or both dead.
Yes.
And D.S. James is either on the loose or Alicia found him. Because
Yes.
that beheading of the police officer sounds like Alicia.
It sounds like Alicia to behead them. Was it D.S. James she beheaded?
No. Police officer that went to investigate an anonymous call to 999.
So that sounds like Alicia to me.
Yeah.
Killing people who had nothing to do with anything.
So if I take you
Innocent
all the
people.
way there, could you use your...
I could try.
The hell, why not?
We-
Can we stop in the road for a bite?
Yes. But if we find Alicia, just the two of us.
You were saying?
Will that be enough?
Was enough to kill a werewolf.
Was it? I didn't see.
Oh, yeah. That's... What is this? There's something very wrong with you, my friend.
Is that Graham, the one who came to the crossed hands?
Why is he on blood fire? What is that? I turn and look to. I hope it's the constable. Really, I really need the comfort.
It is the constable.
Oh shit! I approach her. Like, Holy Jacqueline. We've been trying to clean. I think I have a lead on Alicia as well. Apologies. My Malkavian friend has been helping me clean. Can I can't. I can't.
Where?
Amber's house. Last night I called.
Where?
Give her the address.
She takes her sword. She puts it in the case. Zips it up.
You
Pulls
want
on.
a ride?
No. She starts making for the door.
I start walking behind her.
Nancy grabs you on the shoulder and pulls you back. No.
I need to know if
Trust me, no. I'm staying here to look after Gideon, so I'm looking after this place, so you fuck off and do your thing. But I do not recommend you, you know.
yeah, I mean, I'm gonna tag along for the ride.
Yeah, she's not in the best of moods.
I know. I'm worried of the collateral damage that can be found.
What, from the constable? I'm not worried.
I haven't known her for as long as you have. And there are three kind. And one with this. Remember from yesterday? One that is a possible bridge to Masquerade. This Graham Richardson, Detective Sergeant. And the other two are bystanders. For all we know, they know nothing. There is no indication they know anything. Unless Alicia said anything.
And then the constable will deal with it.
One of them is Jim's sister. She is the definition of an innocent in this scenario.
I'm sure the constable will make her own mind up.
And the other one is not an innocent by any stretch of imagination. But he has dedicated his life to punishing the guilty, to making things right, and protecting the dispossessed, the children, the women that are
You're
abused.
fighting on behalf of people that I'm not the, judge, jury of. She's already gone. I'm here looking after Gideon and cleaning up this shithole. No offense. But you look miserable as fuck and you look crazy as fuck, so could you shift? I've got enough to do.
Say a quick prayer for Jim. Do we have a place to put him for the wake? I would like to bury him in, where his grave is.
So where is he now?
Downstairs.
I'll leave him there until you get back. My priority is this room. When you go out, make sure you got your stuff. I'm under orders to bar the doors until it's clear.
Okay. Grab all my stuff. Not much, to be fair. I do leave my rosary top of Jim's bag.
Okay.
In the meantime.
So I might, if it seems like it's not going to get me in trouble, go down and just say like a quiet goodbye to Jim's remains while they're still there.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, yeah, I'll go down and kneel down by the. It's like in a bag, isn't it, as I recall?
Mm-hmm.
Or has it been? Yeah.
No, the bag was taken off.
Okay, so
When I
all right,
went
I'll
downstairs.
kneel down by his body and look at it for a few moments, and I'm sorry, Jim. I'm going to try and keep my promise. Goodbye. And I'll go.
Okay. So you head back upstairs, step outside, and then just as she locks the door behind you.
Nancy.
Yeah.
I grab her hand and write my number.
Dude, you don't have paper? I'm about to be clearing up blood, you know.
Give me yours. She tries it down. Okay, cool. I'll let you know if we find anything, I guess.
Sure.
Give me a call if you find any use for me.
Sure. What the fuck? So,
Beautiful abstract art.
where are you heading?
Probably to my car, I imagine.
Yes.
Then before we go to the car, we will go to the break
Oh,
and have a brief moment of
silence.
breakness
Breakness.
and silence. The illustrious.
Should we do the board relationship map first?
Yes. Oh yeah. They're further away than I remembered.
Yeah, I think it's the new.
Okay, you can put it.
Right there, maybe, and I can kind of peek.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Okay, so there's a few additions to the relationship map. Actually, there's one you might want to do down here.
Oh yeah, we have a Nancy. Still not connected to anyone, but is like close to Gideon and the constable. So this is Hound Town.
Hound Town.
But now I have her number. She gave me her digits, so now we have to put a string.
So yeah, string may be incoming next
Yeah.
time. And then over in Benjaminsville, we have a few additions. So Anatoly is there, not stringed obviously, but
Never string ever. You don't want Anatoly stringed.
But nevertheless, they've been mentioned, so they're up on the board. And down here,
Mysterious.
we have mysterious person that may or may not be real that Benjamin often has conversations with. With some interestingly suggestive stringing attached. I'll leave you to think on that. And I think that is that for the relationship map. So complex switching coming up. You got?
Yep.
Okay, so somebody who might be me, but we can't possibly name, has made a blunder on the board of the dead.
Because Amy's not dead.
Yeah, because Amy's not dead. So you can do yours first.
Quadra kill denial. Moses gets Grant McEwen with a clean headshot.
So yeah, first werewolf kill to the coterie. And then we've got killed by Emeris. I put Amy on there. She's not been killed by Emeris, so she'll be going back over to the non-cool section until such time as she reappears and murders us all. And I've got +2 werewolves under Emeris there as well. So that'll just change to +3 for next time. And obviously, we have more significant additions to make next week, but we'll talk about that then. And I think that is...
And there will be the edit of the Jim having fallen to Emrys.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
So,
yeah.
It's going to be...
That will be a big one.
Yeah, I might need an entire rearrangement.
Yeah, our week. You get this. Our week will be sorting this mess out probably. So I think that is that.
So,
Okay.
you guys ready for some questions?
We got a few things before questions.
Yes, I think.
So hold fire with those questions. It's a
Mega Blob. Okay, so this is quite a few places. My love, Moses' amazing list of places is pretty much where the majority of you are or have been watching. So I decided to go over the list, and I hope I haven't missed anything. But as Morphy says, I will miss pretty much half of the people that are currently in chat. So, well, locally first, from the UK, we have people that have been watching from Bristol, Nailsea, London, Edinburgh, Watford, Manchester, and Newcastle. And then, in no particular order, so I try to be as alphabetical as possible, Argentina and Buenos Aires and Brazil, Porto Alegre, Australia, Melbourne, Canada, London, Ontario, Canada, Ottawa, Vancouver, Victoria, Tampere, Finland has been in the list, and France, we have people on one, and Paris, Germany, Berlin, Siegen, Osterfriesland, I think I pronounced it okay, and plus one another place that they said Germany, but they didn't say where. Mexico, the DF or Mexico City, plus another one, never said where they were. The Netherlands, Bremen, Amsterdam, plus at least 3 others. You just say the Netherlands and you have not said which cities are you. Norway, Poland, Poznan in Poland, Sweden, Uddevalla and Öland. I want to say that is the proper pronunciation of it. Turkey, somewhere in Turkey. Turkey is very big, but thank you for watching. Uruguay, Montevideo, and love to my friends in AFO. USA, Chicago, South Carolina, Nashville, Miami, Austin, Texas, Los Angeles, California, Seattle, San Angelo, Sacramento, and Phoenix, Arizona, and my native and beautiful Caracas in Venezuela. Thank you very much. I'm running out of air. Now Chad will say 3 more places. I know it, so Phil.
I do have one other addition to that, which is just over there.
Oh yes, and we have a live audience.
live audience.
Who has brought a gift.
Oh.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
I do like this regular gift giving.
I like it. I like it. I'm getting spoiled. I'm getting
Oh
spoiled.
wow.
Ooh. It's pretty. With a little bow in it.
If this explodes, by the way.
Then you will.
Roll credits.
Yeah.
Yep. We have the credits.
Oh!
We have more minis.
Oh wow!
Oh shit.
I think that must be an Emrys.
This is
Oh wow! Check this out.
the Prince Emrys with a Garou head in his hand.
Wow.
And a bloody sword. I don't know if it's in focus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and all bloodied.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
That is very awesome.
Also, we have our very own Constable Jacqueline with her massive long sword
And a puppy.
and a puppy. Probably Moses' puppy or any hound.
I think it's just hound that represents.
Hounds.
Hounds.
And
Very nice.
my new favorite mini Lucy. We have a mini Lucy.
Look at the basket.
Oh my God, the basket. She has Jaffa cakes
Mini
in her.
Jaffas.
Mini Jaffas in
Mini
her
Jaffas for Mini
basket.
Lucy.
But that's canon now.
Yeah.
Now that's canon.
That's canon.
That's amazing.
Lucy is a Jaffa addict.
Oh, and she has a little my book on foxes. Oh, thank you very much.
You're awesome.
Oh,
That
these
is
are
incredible.
lovely.
Yeah. So.
The mini collection. I mean, this is badass. Like this werewolf's head.
I do
This
like
is,
that a lot.
Oh my God.
So for I'll have a gift of these that of course gifted, as you might guess, all the other minis. And for when you might see in chat, it'll be Kassira64. So
say nice things to
Kassira
Kassira
64, she's the one who's doing all of the minis.
not in chat, at the moment, but when she it's time.
Because she's live audience at the moment.
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah.
Thank you to Kassira 64
Thank
for
you.
being today with
Thank
us,
you.
for providing us with an amazing array of minis. And thank you to everybody in Malop. And if I did not mention where you were from, let us know with the hashtag Malop on Twitter or in the chat right now. Put it there because we'll read it and then we'll add it. And I will be tweeting this probably, thank you, in a few episodes time. So I want to make it. I want to make it 20 countries. We're at 17. So come on, spread the word. Thanks.
So something else to say, for those of you who have been supporting us through subscriptions or bits on Twitch, and those of you who've become our patrons on Patreon, obviously we're extremely grateful. And I just wanted to mention that there have been some kind of little quality of life improvements going on that might not be immediately visible. So for example, we now have individual stands for our lights and our microphones, as opposed to them sharing stands, which may not be much to you, but our tech ghouls are weeping with joy.
They
at this
are.
prospect.
Yeah,
It means
happy.
they can light the
Callum is
yeah.
overjoyed clapping.
Because it means they can light things properly as opposed to being kind of tied to where the mics are and things like that. The other thing is, normally we have very cumbersome kind of DIY background frames, and we now have a proper kit for setting up our backdrop. So, again, that may not mean a lot to you watching at home, but it means a lot to me in terms of how long it takes
Takes a long time to
put
take,
down.
yeah.
And that is all down to you, so thank you. There are going to be continual kind of small improvements rolling out, and we are hard at work filming various things for your amusement, which I'll say more of in the future on the blog. So thank you very much.
Are we ready for the questions?
Yes.
We have one
Nope.
direct from Kasira64 who has
Okay.
handed it on paper.
Ooh, you've been given a note.
Yes, I have been given a note. One of
In
the rares
depth.
I get.
Wow.
So, question: You set the Blood and Thames in London. Have any of you actually lived in the capital, and if so, which area?
In the capital in London? I have not lived in London. I have lived in the capital of my country, Venezuela, in the southeast. That makes any sense, but no, never in London.
I have not myself either. So,
So I studied in London in Swiss Cottage at my university, and I also lived in kind of northwest London and worked kind of in outer northwest London as well. So around kind of like Wembley, Harrow, Barnet, that kind of area. So yeah, quite a bit.
Not really lived there, but I mean, I've been there enough to warrant it.
Why does this sound like there's a story attached and
There's
the
like
police should be
one-on-one,
notified?
Like auditions and stuff when they line up, you don't want to go all the way down to London and then come back and then go back down when you've got more auditions of the week. So when you've got like more than one in a week, you just live there for like the week.
Yeah.
So no, but yeah, no, yeah,
Yeah.
nar, yar, nar, yeah.
Okay, Callum,
Cool. Well,
it's your time.
Are we sure?
Yeah, we're totally
sure.
sure.
Now we're
Let's-
sure.
I have nothing else. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. The main mystery at the moment that everyone's in chat asking about. Carlos, do you have a black eye at the moment?
I play softball in 2 softball leagues actually, Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And last Wednesday, I was stupid enough to close the glove as the ball came in. So yeah, it hit me right here. But I usually tell people, oh yeah, I got into a bar fight. And for some reason, they never dispute that. But if I say, oh, I got hit by a softball, it's like, oh yeah, you got hit by someone in a bar fight. I don't.
So it was not me. If you were thinking that, I did not do that. After
Actually,
last session,
it was Peter when we were filming.
I'm a monster. I'm a monster.
We were
Couple of
filming
drinks,
Kindred
I can
Academy,
say.
and he was, you got it wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do have a little bit. It just hit me right on my eyelid, so I have a little bit of a black eye. So that's like I actually, when I told Mitch and Peter, it's like, yeah, I was playing and I got hit, and I have a little bit of a black eye.
Excellent. Cool. Right. Second question. What do you think Katia is up to now?
Oh, she's probably.
I know.
If I were to guess, I think she's aiding Sabine, doing something very, very clever, and hopefully has no idea of the deal Moses struck with the Smiling Man.
I think she's too smart for that.
I think wherever she is, she's having a more relaxed time than the rest of us.
Absolutely.
And I reckon that she sat around with Sabine occasionally, and they're like, she's like, "Thank you so much for getting me out of this place." And Sabine's like, "Oh, I wonder what the coach are up to now, darling." And they just laugh and laugh and laugh, and then it cuts to another scene.
Oh, who cares?
Yeah.
She's probably somewhere considerably well fed.
Yeah.
Excellent. Right. Final question of the night. What is your favourite thing to have on toast? Guess who asked that one?
Maple syrup. Or maple butter.
Yeah, so I would have had this long debate about cheese or jam or things like
Butter,
that, but maple butter.
Maple butter.
It's official.
Yeah.
Sounds like, well, I didn't get a chance to try the maple butter last week, but it sounds like I'm going to have to try it this week. If there's any remaining, which I'm not sure of. If there's then someone's on top. But yeah, it sounds like I have to do that.
You do have to. It's really good.
Okay.
We've actually left you
We left a little bit.
a little teeny bit you can fight Callum for, so it's good. Fine.
Callum's already at the fridge.
Callum's closest, just to warn you.
So you're already dead at the moment. So.
Oh, look.
Oh, too soon.
Burn!
Too soon.
There are two ways of being dead.
Any other questions?
No, I think that was the last question.
That was enough?
Yeah, I think that's all. Oh, wait, hang on.
Oh.
Just trying to see if I can scramble for the comments. I think that's it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Cool.
Thank you for the questions.
Thank you very much, guys.
And the actual answer was Marmite. You all suck.
Maple butter.
Maple butter.
Get me 3 more
Marmite.
countries. 3 more countries.
You didn't try the maple butter, actually.
No, I didn't.
Don't worry, before you go, you will, and then we
Okay.
can next week we'll find out if your answer's the same.
Okay. I might just say Marmite just to be spiteful, but okay.
But yeah, you would say Marmite, but not really feel it.
I'd be like, Marmite, maple butter, put your hands together.
I have no idea.
Oh, that's something we could do on Educating Carlos. It's not actually anything that you should eat, but I want to see him eat it.
What is that?
Oh, it's coming soon, don't
No,
worry.
I mean, what is Marmite?
Oh, no, I can't tell you because you have to be filmed when you learn.
Miss some reason me and you are going to have a falling out. Again.
That's it. I think there is one thing that I got before we go back.
Mm-hmm.
Does everyone have a Jaffa?
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Heathers, do you have a Jaffa?
Of course.
Java people,
To Jim.
sponsor
Jim.
us.
To Jim.
To Jim.
Did you make sure
That
he's
felt
dead?
meaningful, actually, with a Jaffa. It felt godly.
New tradition when a player character
Yeah,
dies.
definitely.
They've not yet
We-
learned that if they don't bring Jaffa cakes, they're immune to everything.
Yeah.
But so that's swanky new miniatures.
Yeah.
Anything else to discuss?
No. All good.
I think we're all good. Yeah, we're all good.
Cool. So love it. How is it that Lucy is the most terrifying one there?
No, she isn't. She's the cutest.
She's carrying all the things to eat when the people die. That's why she's so scary.
Yeah. She
Yeah,
has
also,
that.
have you actually had a look at all three of them from the front?
Play with me, Moses, forever and ever
Okay, you win. You win. She's good.
It's a little bit like Mr. Hankey, but okay.
boys. Sorry. So,
Before Kassir breaks,
Yeah.
okay.
Please. She got laughing.
you're welcome.
So, diving back in. You've stepped out of the church, or were thrown out, however you look at it. What's your immediate plans now that you've made your way back to the car?
Feed.
Okay.
I need to feed again. Like I'm at hunger 3 and I don't want to risk it.
Okay, so what is Moses saying? Something?
Yes, it's like,
That's what he's saying.
can we go feed again? It's
Yes.
a lot earlier tonight, so maybe we can feed in your museum or the neighboring area. Change the feeding grounds.
If we're careful. I want to pop into the museum anyway.
Is it open at this time? What time is it? Like 7, 8?
It's still not open yet. It's
not
up.
been
Ah,
open,
yeah,
it's being
yeah.
set up.
So are people working it, like workers?
Yes.
Like construction? Oh, yeah. That's my dinner. I'm going.
No, you're not feeding on my people.
They're not your people. They're contractors. Someone might be like moving stuff around, and then it's ready to go home, and I just nibble.
I don't want, if anything goes wrong, it happening on my doorstep.
Okay.
It's like I said to Jim when he wanted to feed in the crossed hands.
Wow. That was yeah. You're right.
Yes.
So where are you heading?
So I'm gonna
Surrounding area.
I'm gonna pop into the museum because he's just a bit now that he's starting to calm down a bit. There's the fact that Danielle called is kind of bugging him because she sounded in a bit of a panic. So he wants to check that Amelia is actually all right.
Okay. So are you going out and hunting, or are you going?
Yes, around the area.
All right. So
I will say to Moses, when you found a place, I'll come and help you.
Yeah. What I'm doing now is casing the area until he's available.
okay.
Like we're always gonna be doing hunts in pairs, especially when someone's hungry and I'm hungry. So what I'm gonna be doing is casing the area while he sorts his stuff in the museum.
Okay. We'll say resolve plus investigation.
Wow, that's a bad pool.
This isn't your hunting roll. This is
Yeah.
just to find. Okay.
2 successes.
Okay. So we'll leave that with that. So you begin making your way over towards the museum, and it still astounds you when you go here just how incredible a building this is. The architecture is astounding. It's the kind of building that you don't have to know what it is to be marveled at it. And even people that have absolutely no interest in architecture, no interest in old buildings of any type, will stop and just look at it. And the fact that it contrasts everything around it, and it looks dated and yet new, it's that contrast that really draws the eye. And for someone like you, you can admire how it is so incredible as an architectural feat. And that's not really surprising now that you think about it. It was designed by a Toreador. It was owned by the primogen of the Toreador. This wouldn't be a building that is in any way less than eye-catching. And there are banners up that string the columns on the outside of it that basically advertise an upcoming exhibit. There aren't much details on the banner because it was agreed, or Amelia suggested, that there not be too much details put forward. Just leave it vague, get people interested, release things over time. And that's what she was doing. And whilst there are no current construction workers on the premises, because they work during the day, and then because she doesn't let them on premises at night, which was something she's done of her own initiative, but she seems to be taking steps to ensure you have privacy. And then when you go up and approach the Voltaire, you try the door and it's locked. So you take out your keys, unbolt it, step inside, and relock it. Where are you going?
I'm assuming that she has like some kind of office space she works in, or somewhere that she tends to be.
She has a
That'll
manager's
be my
office.
first port of call.
Okay. So the actual building itself, you have a large kind of rectangular but curved around the bulk of the building kind of reception area, which has advertisements for the different kind of attractions on. It has seating areas, it has a cafe, but it's one of those kind where this is the kind of food that you'd pay a lot of money for, because it's not just, it's not like a Tesco's cafe or something like that. It's a highbrow cafe. And there was probably 1 or 2 up there now, quite expensive art that's on display here. And if this is what you could go in for free and see, it kind of teases you as to what could actually be inside the gallery. And there are places where the security would normally be there, as places where the you could go up and pay at reception. But then once you step through these into the big open doors, it leads into a large circular chamber, which goes off into its own chambers, which branch off into a kind of junction. And you know that towards the end of one of these junctions is where the manager's office is, as well as where the security is. And at this time you have 2 securities, 1 day security and 1 night security. So you're heading straight for the office. Okay. Do wits plus awareness.
2.
Okay. So you do notice that whilst the place itself is still in a decent state of repair, it's actually advanced further along in its repairs than you thought it would be. The estimates that you'd been put and the guarantees of the contractual finishing time for the work set you back enough that it's not too long a wait, but you weren't expecting it to be ready at any time soon. And it seems that the people that that she's gotten in to do it seem to have raced through. That doesn't mean it's bad standard. In fact, it's completely the opposite. But it's encouraging to see that whereas before, when you were in before, there was multiple scaffolding, lots of things were being repaired or reorganized or being reset. A lot of that scaffolding to now come down. A few of the statues that were there are still there. You have a few of the art exhibits are still on, but quite a few of the different pieces have been taken down and put into storage. But all in all, it still looks pretty much as grand as Edmund's. And this is whilst it's in a state of unfinishedness. And that makes you feel a bit proud.
Yeah.
Not just a bit proud, but quite a bit proud, as you are making your way towards the security office. And then you step up towards the door, and then and you see inside there's she has desks laid out, not desks, shelves laid out, different books, different authors, different things on art gallery, different things on business styling, different things on accountants, different variety of different books. And she has a desk set into the corner, which goes up next to one of the barred windows. So they are secure windows, but they allow you enough glance out onto the city. And because of this area of the gallery is raised, it gives you a more open area rather than just a street view. So it's like you're looking from a different floor up. And there's plants, different chairs set up. And then the chair is turned around and there is a desk light on, and you can hear the pages ruffling of a book.
Do I think it's Amelia sitting at the chair?
I mean, it's hard to tell in the dark. You'd assume so.
Okay. I'll knock on the... I mean, I've opened the door, but I'll knock to announce that I've arrived, rather than...
Pages continue to ruffle.
Okay. Then I'll approach and say, Amelia?
Because you can hear the of a fan going on, because it is quite humid. But there's no response.
Assumedly, the light that they have on that they're reading by casts them into some kind of...
It's quite a high back chair, so you can see the top of the head.
Okay. Does the top of their head in any way match the top of Amelia's head?
Same colour hair.
Okay. I'll keep approaching. I'll say, Amelia, and I'll go round. I'll start trying to move like around the desk, so rather than approaching from behind her, I'm going to come around the front.
Okay. So you start stepping around to the side, and you can see that the book that's laid out onto the table, the pages are being flapped by the fan that's going on. And there is... The first thing you notice is that there's no legs sat down onto the floor. And then there's no torso. And what is actually in the chair is a head, which has been pinned to the chair. But there's no torso. You don't recognize the individual. But as you look at it, you can hear a sound coming from further in the gallery, which sounds like a...
Okay. So, just so I can clarify a few details,
Mm-hmm.
there is an unknown head that has been what has pinned it to the
It looks to be a bar.
just like a bit of metal railing or something, like broken off roughly, that kind of thing. So someone's broken off a bit of metal piping or bar or something and pinned
Through the mouth, through the chair.
of a random person that is not Amelia. Okay. And there's also a noise of someone going coming from the gallery.
I'm hunting.
Okay. I think at this point I'm going to put on Unseen Presence.
Okay.
Unseen passage.
Unseen Passage, sorry. And this time, I'm not going to go any hungrier. I'm going to push my senses, because it's obviously quite dark in there, and now I'm actually quite scared. I'm probably going to put on Silence of Death, and then I'm going to make...
You've got unseen senses on here.
Yeah, heightened senses, Unseen Passage, Silence of Death, and I'm going to make my way cautiously towards the sound.
Okay. Do wits plus awareness. Plus all specs.
Yeah. Oops. Don't die, dice. Okay. 3 successes.
Okay, there is 2 different noises that you can hear coming from the security room.
Okay.
One that sounds like someone gasping for breath.
Okay.
And another one that sounds like a hitched breathing. But it's more regular?
Okay. But like it's obstructed somehow, or it's a bit like a wheezy breathing, do you mean? Or...
Obstructed.
Okay. And they're coming from different places?
No, same place.
Okay. I'll head there quite quickly, given that I'm not going to make any noise. I'm not like sprinting in, but I'm going to obviously, if it sounds like people might be slowly dying from lack of oxygen, I will head quickly over.
Okay.
Actually, sorry, there's one more thing I'm going to do.
Okay.
I'm going to text Moses and say trouble at the gallery.
Okay.
My phone will be on like vibrate.
Not that you can hear it.
Not that I can hear it anyway.
Still
But
have sounds of death.
yes, I know, but he's going to do it anyway because
Okay.
it might be he drops Silence of Death later or something.
You can't remember the moment that you died. But you remember the pain that preluded it. You remember the gnawing, the budding, gripping pain that overwhelmed everything else. You remember the whispered words. You remember the anger. But then everything faded away to a mindless obsession that you could not know existed. And for the past 5 minutes, although it could be so much longer because it seems like it's been longer, your body has been beating itself bloody against a marble flooring as you thrash, knock over chairs, and gasp as the oxygen that was in your body leaves. And before long, your body is now trying to suck in oxygen that it can't draw in because your lungs have stopped working. And slowly, one at a time, your organs stop working. And when you die, it's in pieces. But Just because your organs stop functioning doesn't mean your body does. And when the breathing stops and your body stops trying to draw in breath, it's because it's already entering a different style of involuntary motion. Your face has become warped, although you have no idea how. And you are already thrashing onto your stomach as you are slowly pulling yourself across the ground to something you can't see. Moses.
The moment I see the message, I make my way to the gallery.
Okay. You just run in there?
I'm gonna obfuscate
Okay.
and go hungry.
You reach the door. You can hear the noises from the other side, but the heavy draws of breath have stopped. And now it sounds like the sound of something fleshy being smacked onto a wet flooring.
This does not sound good at all.
No.
The door, do I think it's locked? Okay, I will very slowly open it.
The security room is bloody. And you can tell that from the way that the blood pools as the door scrapes across the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And from the delicious iron smell that hits you.
Mm-hmm.
And then the door stops about halfway, and as you look down, you can see boots that you recognize as the security guards.
Huh. Is the security guard dead?
He's not moving. You can't see him yet. But as you're about to put your head around, you hear the of something advancing across the room. And it's very dark, and if it wasn't for your heightened senses, you would not be able to tell what it was.
Okay.
But as you look over, you can see a familiar individual crawling her way over. It's Sarah.
Oh. So, Sarah is on the floor. She's trying to crawl. How does she... Is it just these two in here? Is it the security guard and Sarah? Now, I've not actually interacted with Sarah, but obviously I saw her. And does she look injured? Because you said there was blood. Does it look like the security guard's blood or her blood or both?
Do intelligence, do wits plus medicine.
Okay. Sorry, and I'm assuming at this point... Yeah, no, that's right, I already know the answer to that, so it's fine. 1.
She looks very dead.
Sarah looks very dead.
Yeah.
And the security guard also looks dead.
No.
The security guard's still alive. But she looks like she's dead.
Yeah, you can hear the security guards breathing.
Okay. But she's moving. She's like dead, but she's moving.
Roll wits plus insight.
Insight, you say. Oh, yeah. 2.
You recognize the look in her eye. And it takes you a few moments to realize that the way that she is moving is not at all purposeful in the sense of a human trying to drag themselves. It is the case of a starving animal going for food.
Does she seem impaired in her movements? Or is she like zipping across the floor? Or is she kind of moving like more?
Not impaired. She doesn't look injured.
Okay. Because so basically I can see a hungry vampire who I recognise, and my security guard who's about to become food, who already looks like they've been injured in some way. Okay. Do I think I have time? I know it will probably drop my obfuscate, but I figure it's pretty dark in here. and she's not walking, she's crawling, do I think I'd have time to get the security guard and drag them out of the room?
You try to.
I will try to.
Okay.
I would like to remove the meal from the vicinity if possible.
Okay, strength plus athletics versus strength plus athletics.
Hunger.
You begin on hunger 5.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you're in frenzy.
Does that add anything for that? I can't remember.
Just means that impairment doesn't hurt you.
2.
2.
I have a skull.
I have a skull too. Fight.
Okay.
No,
So-
why
It's fine,
me?
it's fine.
Why me?
As you are grabbing the security guard, you begin pulling him towards the door. You are focused on him and trying to move the door out of the way with your foot as you
Yeah.
begin pulling him. When all of a sudden he jerks back as you can feel him being pulled. And as you look down, she's grabbed both of his legs and is pulling her way up his torso towards him. And just as you are trying to heave him back, you can hear a rattling of something further down the corridor. Back the way you came. Where's your attention going?
I mean, I think in the immediate moment it is going to be to try and... this guy's dead if I don't stop Sarah feeding on him at this moment. I mean, when you say rattling, does it sound like someone's trying to rattle a door or something?
No. Sounds like keys.
Oh shit, that'll mean it's Amelia. Okay. Okay. Well, I guess, given the options, I will... I will let go of the security guard,
Okay.
and I will leg it towards the doors as fast as I can.
Okay.
Oh.
So, here's what happens. What you are grabbing, and you do not realise what you are grabbing. At the moment, all you know is that this thing in front of you, you need it, is the only thing that is going to stop that gripping pain in your gut. That incessant pain of the likes that you have never experienced before in your life. And as you draw on that need, a strength comes from within you, and you draw back this thing in front of you. And you can hear it making pitiful whinging sounds, you can hear it whimpering, you can even hear words coming from it, but you don't listen, you don't care. And then, working of your own accord, your mouth clamps shut, and that pain begins to slowly ebb. You turn on your heel and start rushing back up this corridor.
Yeah.
And you can see coming around the corner with a satchel, Amelia. And as
Okay,
she's
I'm dropping Silence of Death.
okay, and as she's moving her keys into the bag, she stops up and sees you, and then you, as you drop
Yeah.
this, she looks up, sees you, frowns, and then you go dead still. Standing behind her, unmoving, is Alicia. And she lifts her hand and the claws begin to extend.
How close am I?
Not as close as Alicia is.
Okay.
How far away am I?
You're still approaching the building. You were doing reconnaissance.
Sorry?
You were doing reconnaissance.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll say, I'll look at Alicia and I'll say, don't do it.
Okay. Amelia stops, looks back over her shoulder, and the moment she does, she feels a hand wrap around her neck. And she stops dead, unmoving, as the much taller Alicia draws her close. And she puts the claws down behind her. Where is my child.
He's gone. He's dead.
The claws vanish into her side as Amelia's eyes go wide and she begins convulsing. But Alicia doesn't let go of her as she draws the claws back out.
I'd like to make a test against Fury Frenzy, please.
Make it.
Okay. So what have I got? I've got some willpower and I've got... you don't need hunger. Is it difficulty 2 if someone you care about has been hurt?
Depends on how you valued her.
I value her quite a lot because she's on the road to becoming a touchstone, potentially. Okay, this is going to be bad then.
Yep.
I got 2.
Red. Everything fades away as the beast cracks forth unbridled. The sheer rage you feel is like nothing you have ever felt before. And almost willingly, you relinquish control. And you are scarcely aware of your boots striking marble as you propel yourself at her. And you are only thinly aware of how she tosses Amelia aside and then lifts her claws up as you come for her. I need you to make a strength plus brawl check.
Oh, God. Okay.
Is this now death of 2?
Strength plus brawl, say. 1. I'm pretty sure you can't spend willpower in frenzy.
No.
No.
Oh. Good luck.
You'll need it.
Yes, I was going to say.
As you rush her, you are scarcely aware, and you can't feel the pain as she embeds both claws in your gut and lifts you over her and flings you. And you're propelled across the marble, striking your head as you roll until you slam against one of the doors which had been left open as Amelia came in, forcing it shut. You take 7 points of superficial damage, not halved.
Yeah.
And she moves over to Alicia, to Amelia. Why do I name everyone A? And picks her up. And as you are beginning to pick yourself back up, she moves past you and backhands. Do you want to make this a two-way conflict? Oh, you don't really have a choice.
I'm in Fury Frenzy, so I would like to rip off her head, please.
Do it.
Again,
Do it.
Good luck.
Do it! I'm not impaired though. Ha-ha!
Frenzy.
Oh yeah, you
Because
have
I'm in
frenzy.
Frenzy. 3 successes!
That's 3 times as many as the last time.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have tripled yourself.
3 points of superficial damage, not halved.
Okay, that's me and Torpor.
As you lunge for her, she backhands you across against the wall. And then as you begin rising again, she flings out a claw, piercing through your mouth into the wall. And as she looks over the length of her arm at you, as your eyes begin to roll back, she just draws it back watches you drop. And then as Amelia begins crawling towards you, she just sits down next to her, cross-legged, watches her go, and then gets to her feet, and then just moves off towards the door. Pulls it open, not bothering to unlock it. She steps out.
I see why I can't see any of this thing.
No, you're in total.
Yeah.
Shuts it.
Do I see her coming out now that I'm outside, approaching the body?
As roll wits plus awareness.
I have 2 successes.
As you are approaching the building, as quickly as you can, you get to the base of the steps, and you can see, as you're making your way towards it, the door just slowly moves, and you notice the telltale signs of the door lock being broken. And as you stop and you look around, you see at the far end of the street, Alicia looking back at you. She smiles.
I'm obfuscated.
No?
I'm obfuscated.
Oh, fine. Then she just walks off.
I follow her.
Okay.
And I send the text to Nancy.
Okay.
I'm behind Alicia, getting in touch with the constable now. She is at the Visions of Voltaire and escaping the scene.
Okay.
If she is walking and I see her claws bloodied, I will not go inside to look for Benjamin.
Okay.
Right now, my
Then
priority
what I
is to
need
get
you to do is strength plus athletics.
Strength plus athletics.
And if you can keep up with her, you can follow her.
Strength plus athletics. Can I add my potence to it? Because I can do potence
Sure.
jumps to... One success.
You do your absolute best to keep up with Alicia, bounding as you are over traffic to keep pace. But she is moving at a pace that makes it clear she is not willing to risk being followed. And the paths that she is taking are surprisingly cautious and quick. And as you turn the 4th corner trying to keep pace with her, you realize that the individual you've been following is not her. As the individual turns, you notice that it's not Alicia. And then as you look back to see where she would have been, she's not there.
Okay. I run back to the Visions of Voltaire.
Okay. The door is still open.
Go inside that door. Start looking for people. Since the door is open, I don't break obfuscate.
Okay. So you continue into the main room, and you can hear the sounds of someone feeding messily.
Oh shit, Benjamin lost it. We go inside.
And as you move around the corner, you see Benjamin with his head hinged, unmoving against the wall, a broken-necked and side-emboweled Amelia atop him, and across at the far end you can see an open door with an individual you don't know half out of the door, and Sarah bowed over him. Did you still send your text?
Yes, I did. Visions of Voltaire, everything to Nancy. I alert the constable, everything. I even send a text now saying, I'm back in the Visions of Voltaire. I lost Alicia. She went in this direction. Now I'm debating whether or not execute the prince's order. I mean, doesn't take a genius. That's Sarah, and Alicia was here, and Benjamin and Amelia have been clawed, one to death and one to torpor. Doesn't take a genius to know that Sarah has been embraced And it doesn't look like Benjamin did it. According to the prince, everyone in the Alicia's line must die. And I'm still obfuscated, and I have a gun filled with fire rounds.
Your senses start coming back to you, one at a time. And as your eyes flutter open, you are painfully aware of the taste in your mouth and of the very pale, entirely exsanguinated body beneath you.
I start sort of backing up.
And your back hits the security console.
And just screams.
You hear the scream echoing loudly.
I materialize in front of her. Shut up. Shut the fuck up with a gun. Like, shut the fuck up. You don't know what's happened to you? The best bet you can have right now is to sit in that corner and stay there until I say otherwise. Understood? Move.
Shift. Just go up and corner.
I'm gonna let the constable deal with his shit. I'm in no shape, emotional. No, I'm not. Notify Nancy. Found another kindred
Okay.
on the scene. Also, Alicia has attacked Benjamin, like, given a report over text.
Okay.
Go to Benjamin. Take 1 blood point from Amelia.
Okay.
And
You get the melancholy dysgracia. I'll pass it along to you.
her dysclasia. She has bled some, right?
Yeah.
I'll take a couple.
Okay. So you're just gonna wait until someone arrives.
Yeah, I am crouching, like literally, with a gun, staring at Sarah.
Okay.
You do look like him, you know?
Who?
Your brother.
Memories begin to pick back up of a conversation that you had about what happened to your brother. You were told what happened. You were told who was responsible. But you were also told that if they know you know, they'll kill you. And you have never believed anything so fervently in your life.
Where is he? Where is he?
Jim is dead.
No. I saw him. I saw him.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. This many days ago, you had a conversation with him in your car.
Yeah.
I was there. And then you had a conversation with Allison, is how you know her? Alicia? Ali? Who knows?
Where's Jim? Where is he?
Jim died last night.
No.
I can take you to his body if you want to pray for him, but
No. Jim's fight before. He's fight that attack before. No.
listen to me. No one survives being beheaded.
No.
You know there is. You know what happened to you. Are you aware what has happened to you? Are you aware of what is going on with you right now? Why is it that you have something inside of you telling you that what you just did felt amazing? Calm down. Calm down. Do you think you're actually breathing?
What's going on?
Okay.
Who are you?
My name is Moses. I was a friend of Jim's. And the person who did this to you has a price on her head, and everyone she touches dies. Sorry to say, you're next on the list, girl.
No.
If you can calm down and provide some useful information as to where we can find her, maybe they'll forgive you. You have done nothing wrong, which is the worst part of this. You have done nothing wrong. This is not your fault. This is not Jim's fault. You will be alright as long as you calm down and think.
Why do you look like that?
Breaking news, girl. You're dead.
No.
Okay, I'll give you 5 minutes. Find your own pulse. Let me know how you fare with that. I'll walk around.
Hang on. Let me check something. No, wait, keep going.
It's okay. Look, I suck at this. I know. I've never done this before.
Don't what?
Have a chat with someone who has just been turned.
Turned?
Okay, let's get you in the right frame of mind so maybe you can understand this. Jim,
Yes?
your brother faked his death, and then sometime later you found out that he was actually alive, right? Wrong. Jim faked his death, as in his permanent death. But him, like you, did not have a pulse. Him, like you or I, or some of our other friends, don't laugh. We are different. We are undead.
What does that mean? I don't...
That means that for the rest of your days, you better stay away from the sun and make sure you feed on blood.
Why? What?
It sounds stupid and it sounds impossible, and it may be coming from a guy looking like this. It sounds a little bit ridiculous. But now, think about it from the other perspective. What if what if? Give me the benefit of the doubt here. What if what I'm saying is true and vampires do exist and your brother was one? Would that explain how come he looked exactly the way he looked before he disappeared? And maybe the reason he didn't want you to find him because he now was involved in something that was greater than you.
He'd only been gone a couple of years. Yeah. I mean, his face wouldn't have changed that much.
Are you hungry?
No.
No.
Good.
What does that have to do with anything?
What's that taste in your mouth? Stop. I know it's hard. It's difficult. I wish I knew how to do this. I have no idea how to do this. You want proof that we do exist? And stand up and start walking in circles. Like, how many people you know? And I jump to the first story. Can do this and jump back.
No. There's some reasonable explanation to this. No.
Yes, there are two possible scenarios here. A, I dropped you up the wazoo and you're tripping. Or B, I'm telling the truth. Let's go with option A. Let's avoid an OD, lay on your belly, and fall asleep. I'm just waiting for people to come and help me. Like, I'm seriously, I'm really sorry, Sarah. I have no idea what to do in this situation. I obfuscate.
Okay.
Just stand in the corner and obfuscate. Cloak of shadows.
Okay.
No need to vanish. I don't care if she sees me. I care about the other people seeing me.
So you step out into the corridor. And you can see Nancy at the end of the corridor looking at...
I walk to greet her.
Drop.
Yeah, I drop it. I was in Cloak of Shadows, so it's obviously one, the moment I move, it drops. I walk towards her, it's like, Alicia? Also, I have no idea how to deal with this problem. Remember one of the innocents that I was mentioning? Jim's sister, Sarah?
Yeah.
Come with me. Alicia's new child, apparently. Unsanctioned.
You're fucked.
Don't make it worse. I'm trying to calm her down. She might know where Alicia is.
Do you know where Alicia is?
Maybe she has an idea, a clue. Maybe she remembers where
the constable's going to care when she gets here. I'm just saying.
Is the constable on her way?
Doubtful. She's outside of London at the moment. So it's me.
So how do we deal with this?
I've got no fucking clue. I'm the same as you. I'm just a hound.
I say...
I really like your hair.
Wouldn't it be better if we would take it with us, put her somewhere until the constable comes back and has a chat with her?
You got any stakes?
I don't have one on me now.
Yeah, we can fashion one.
Well,
More
there's a
worried
lot
about
of
them.
construction work. Sorry?
More worried about them.
Which them?
The two bodies in there.
Oh, one is Benjamin, so he's coming with a...
Oh no, I know, but he's still, you know.
Yeah, but no need to stake him, I would guess.
Well, I'm not gonna stake him. I mean, for her.
You can fashion something.
All right. Turns around and walks off.
It's okay. She talks in weird slang.
Do I believe it?
This feels like familiar territory.
Welcome to your new character sheet.
Impeccable lies. Subterfuge. An awful roll. 4 successes.
I mean, you know, for a guy that threatened you with a gun, why would he try and spare your feelings on a stake? You know, maybe he's telling the truth.
So, would you help me, please?
With what?
Look for, you know, those big plastic covers for the floors and things that probably is in the remodeling. I look for big ones.
There's plenty of them around.
Yeah, for just to put Amelia and Benjamin in them. Especially because I want to take Amelia to the church.
Okay. So, as you start moving outside, or start moving out to start grabbing stuff, there is. Where are you? Okay. You can hear a vehicle pulling up outside.
Stand in a corner, cloak of shadows.
Okay.
Trying to see from out of the window.
Out of the window, you can see the car pull up and the headlights turn off. And you can see the one that steps out of the vehicle is Lisa Ketting, the Primogen. And from the other side of the vehicle, Edmund.
I take Benjamin with me as fast as possible.
Okay. Where are you going?
I am going out, like, anywhere away from the door. Anywhere.
Okay.
And I tell her, it's like, help has arrived. Ask Edmund if he can help you.
You hot shit.
I am more afraid of what he will do to him in torpor and me than what he will do to poor Sarah, who had just been embraced and has like 3 death sentences on her head just because she was embraced out of the tradition, no consent of the prince, and the prince has ordered a bloodhound on her line. Like, I mean, no matter how much I want to help her, it's impossible for me to help her. I can help him.
I'm going to do the caravan next week then, aren't I?
Yeah.
And I can help myself. So I'm really sorry. Moses is in Team Moses, and right now Benjamin happens to be in Team Moses. So
Okay, so you grab him.
Go Team
You begin
Moses.
moving. What
I'm
about
really sorry, Sarah. I'm really.
What about
really
Amelia?
Sorry. Sorry.
what about Amelia? Are you taking them both, or just him?
Yeah, I think both. I rouse.
Are you sure?
I rouse.
Okay.
And I go hungry, but I do take
The
both.
scent of blood is intoxicating as you barrel past towards the back room, which is the only place you can go at the moment.
Yeah.
And as you step into the manager's office and you shut it, you close the doors, you can hear the main doors opening. And then as you turn and look at the other side of the door, you can see the swivel chair with the light on and DS James's head pinned to the chair.
Okay, 2 down, 1 to go. Now I need to know what happened to Alan Burr. Shit, Sarah might have known. Well, missed that shot. So, I now. Shit. How long ago How long ago was it that I saw Alicia leave with all the conversation I've had? So it's been like a good 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
Keep going. You've been waiting a while until someone's got there, so it's probably been about 30, 40.
Okay, so I
Okay.
think I'm gonna leave Amelia in this room for the moment while I look for a way out.
There is no way out. There is the barred windows and the door you come through. By design.
Of course.
Pause there. So. You can hear speaking. You can hear what sounds to be a man's voice and the sound of the woman that you spoke to briefly. Sounding as though they're further down into the room. And as the panic continues to dwell in and you try and gain control of yourself, you hear footsteps of heels on the ground, on the marble story. And then as you look up, you see a woman there with her hair tied back, and she's just observing you. And then she steps into the room and closes the door. Then moves over to you, kneels down, grabs your hands and goes, "Hey, look at me. Breathe. If you need to. Slower.
Just good.
Slower. Slower. What's your name, sweetheart?
Sarah?
Sarah.
What? Who are you?
I'm Lisa.
Where's Moses?
Who's who?
Where's Moses?
I never gave you my name.
Yeah, you did.
Oh yeah, I did. Damn. I'm an idiot.
So,
I think I did. I probably did.
okay. The panic that was assailing you moments before ebbs. And you feel a tranquility just spread over you as she just looks at you. And you feel calm. And your breathing stops. But it doesn't cause you to panic. It's like after having aching muscles, you've slipped into a bath and your body just relaxes. And as her thumbs begin rubbing on the back of your hands, she waits until you are completely calm. And then she takes you from the hands and lifts you to guide you up. And she's got a surprisingly strong grip, but she's not forceful with it. She guides you up onto your feet. She takes off her coat and she wraps it over your shoulders. I need you to close your eyes for me. Close your eyes. And you hear the door opening, and you can hear the footsteps. You can still feel her hands on you as she guides you. And you can hear a male voice and a young female voice speaking off in the distance, getting closer and closer. And the male voice stops, and the female voice continues speaking. You can almost feel eyes on you, but you don't open your eyes. And then you hear another door open, and then you can feel a breeze on you. And then you hear the door shut, and then you're guided down steps, and then a door shuts, or opens rather, as you're guiding into a car. But still you don't open your eyes. And then the car gently shifts underneath you as she climbs in. And then there's silence for a long moment until finally, curious and still a little fearful, you open your eyes. And you find that she's turned in the chair and she's just looking at you. How did you get to be here?
I don't know.
Well, what do you know?
Pain? Something shifting? and I'm Moses said that I'm a vampire?
We don't use that word. Are you hungry? Do you feel a pain in your guts? No. Okay. We're going to take a drive. And I want you to focus on calming yourself down. I don't want you to speak, just calm yourself down. I don't want you to speak. Calm down. She turns in her seat, turns on the ignition and begins driving. There is no way out of the room that you're in. But you can hear the voices still. You heard people leaving. And then you can hear footsteps approaching. Not your door, but down the hallway. And it's audible because it's a marble floor.
I'm moving to an area in which I can have some visibility while in any random corner, because I doubt most of the lights are on. Probably most of them are actually off. Especially in the higher
office.
floors. In the higher floors.
There isn't a higher floor access from the office.
Oh, okay.
The office leads straight onto the corridor that you just came from. The only way that you can get out is by opening the door and dropping obfuscate.
No, I'm just gonna stand in the office in a corner, obfuscated.
Okay. Okay. So, you hear footsteps. They get louder. Your obfuscate. Roll for me.
I rouse the blood. That is 7 successes, critical win.
Okay.
Happy critical?
Happy critical. And I'm thinking if I'm gonna re-roll those 2 dice by taking 1 aggravated willpower damage. Because I have dice that did not score successes.
Make your decision now.
Yeah, fuck it, yeah.
Okay.
Eight successes, critical win.
You beat the 7 needed.
Ooh! This is the best aggravated willpower damage I've ever taken in my life!
The door opens. And Edmund steps in. And he stops and he looks slowly around. Looks at you and then past you. And then turns and shuts the door. And then he looks over towards where the head is. And he moves over towards it and just stares at it. Ting. steps around the desk and sits down in the chair.
Is he wearing gloves still? Did it look like a book or
Bit of paper.
a bit of paper? Cool.
And he stands up and begins making his way back around the desk. He steps back out.
I'm not moving on till the constable arrives. Or Nancy or somebody.
Okay. So, it takes a while before the constable arrives. And when she finally does, Edmund's already left.
I take out Benjamin and Amelia for the pig. And then I give some blood to Benjamin, trying to rouse him. Like to
Okay.
wake up.
It's, you know, it's not hunger though, right?
I don't know.
As in, oh, okay. I suppose.
I mean, that's what I saw the constable do
Gideon.
to Gideon after the fight with the Garou. I assume that's what you would do.
So, how much blood are you going to feed me?
Oh no. You're in Team Moses. You get one blood. That's it.
Okay, so you gain 1 hunger.
And assumedly,
And I go hungry.
1 level of liking Moses more than I already did.
But at least that will help you.
Go Team Moses.
Yeah. Hopefully that will allow you to do your
It'll
aggravated damage.
Yes, it will help me
See?
start.
See?
Yeah, no, it's good.
So we both go into torpor, but it could be a hunger 5.
Yeah.
So, you step out, and you can see at the end of the corridor, Jacqueline is there listening as Nancy is just explaining bits. You can't hear what she's saying, but she's gesturing.
I'm so broken. I run towards her
She
Run.
turns and looks at you.
and literally knee slide all the way to her, just to hold on to whatever, her coat or whatever, and start crying. Like everything that I've been holding throughout the night, I just let go. Like I have no idea what to do. I had no idea how to deal with Sarah. Like she was completely innocent in this, and I didn't have it in me to. I tell her I didn't have it in me to execute the prince's orders. I couldn't.
Okay, so you mentioned that Sarah's been embraced.
Yeah, I spilled the guts, like completely. Because it's something that's torturing me, and like my intention was to get Sarah safe and sound, and hopefully proving that she knew nothing about kindred. Alicia, as usual, touching anything destroyed there. Now, Sarah is the best candidate for swiftest kill in the recent history of London. Like sadly, she was embraced already a sin. In multiple levels, you have to get permission from the prince to have any progeny. Any of the sins of your child are yours until they're not neonates, and she's been breaching the Masquerade. And also there's the little issue of the Alicia bloodline being hunted. I mean, I tell everything to the constable saying like I can't with such evil that she touched a perfect innocent and transform her into a certain. She's gonna suffer. She's already suffering. and I didn't know how to tell her that her brother died in a way that didn't make me sound like an idiot.
She steps past you, pulling herself free from you. Not forcefully, but she pulls herself free and moves over towards the door and looks in.
Oh yeah, I mentioned Edmund has been put into torpor by Alicia.
You mean Benjamin?
Sorry.
Stop wishful thinking.
Yeah, I wish. Benjamin, so I was hoping we can take him, give him, like, protect him, because Alicia didn't finish him, but certainly she will finish the job eventually. She did kill her, also another bystander. And Sarah killed the guard. Also, Edmund St. Clair was here.
He is Primogen.
Yeah. I remember when I mentioned that his hand felt like needles. Benjamin told me that Edmund is dead, and whomever that Primogen is just pretending to be Edmund St. Clair.
He is Malkavian.
I know. But
Bring your coterie, mate. She turns and begins walking back off.
and I stagger under the way. I don't even
Nancy
have
walks over to you as though she's about to offer to help, and then just turns and starts walking out.
I don't care. Like right now, I am carrying my own cross. And my cross is named Benjamin. Like I am again hungry, very, and I am less willful than ever. Like this is the situation in which you got the very best or the very worst of Moses, and apparently Moses only has worst. Like I'm really I'm just destroyed. I just walk all the way to the car.
Okay. You've been driving for a while. Do you speak? She doesn't say anything to you. But she doesn't seem to be driving with any particular destination in mind. She seems to just be driving. But she doesn't drive quick. She just keeps pace with traffic. And then, after a while, she pulls in close to a small park. And then, as she gets out of the car, she leans in, looks at you, goes, "Come on," and then shuts the door.
Go around and move after.
She begins leading you over towards a small building. It looks like an old type of antique shop. Now she moves up and then rattles the keys in the lock. She opens it, steps aside to let you in, and then moves in and locks the door behind you. And then it's a very cramped, it's like one of those very old rectangular type shops which is just lined with oddities. It's old. It's questionable quality. Some of it looks like that's a unique type of find, but most of it just seems you'd almost class it as a charity shop. It's an odd scenario to be brought into given what's just happened. But then as she moves past you, she lifts her coat off of you, folds it over her arm, moves over towards the end of the room, takes down a coat hanger, hangs it back up, and then she moves over towards the counter. The blinds have already been pulled, and she pulls out 2 chairs from behind it, almost like bar stools, slides one towards you and then sits down with the other one. Sit. So, tell me everything.
Well,
I know it's a indescribable amount of chaos that you're experiencing. And you probably have a ridiculous number of questions. We all did.
Do you know where Jim is?
Who?
My brother.
I don't.
Can you find him?
I'd be more worried about yourself. This is probably the only helping hand you're going to receive. So make the most of it, sweetheart, because I didn't receive it. Most of us don't.
Why?
Why what?
Why is helping hand? Why? I don't understand.
You have entered into a society that can only be described as Machiavellian. We deal in a bloody currency. And what I am going to explain to you now, if you do not understand, you will die. I'm not exaggerating, and I will not sugarcoat it for you.
Moses said I was already dead.
You are. So am I. I mean, if you want to use layman terms, we're vampires. Kindred, if you want to be accurate, and less offensive.
Kindred. Okay.
I'm guessing that this Moses, if he knows you, probably knew Jim.
Yes,
I think I know him.
He said he knew Jim.
Your surname is Woods.
Yes.
Then I do know your brother.
Do you know where to find him?
I'll take you to him, but not now.
Okay.
Because in having this conversation with you, I am indirectly making myself liable for you.
Liable how?
In the sense, if you want to be crude, if a dog takes a shit on someone else's carpet, it's the owner's fault. Sorry, I'm trying to use a modern means of conveying this. If you fuck up, it's the people that should be watching you that's responsible. Now, I've taken you away from a place where I'm guessing you were not introduced to... You won't understand the term. The people in power.
You mean the Queen?
I wouldn't refer to him as that.
The Queen is a man?
Oh, you mean that Queen? Sweetheart, no. She's not the one in power in the city. Okay, to make this easier, I'm going to speak, and you are going to keep your mouth shut and listen. Okay? Any questions? Hold to the end. And she begins speaking. And she speaks long into the night, revealing secret after secret about what you are and what you're capable of. And that's where we're going to end tonight.
Welcome to the new character.
Yeah. Dude. You're so lucky that I had 0 willpower. If not, most of would have gone like, boom. Like, I'm sorry. Like, See, Alicia destroys everything she touches.
She is the villain.
She is the devil.
Yeah, so we can't hate on Edmund Sinclair anymore. We've got a new target.
Yeah.
What? No.
No.
One
you
is the
have
devil,
one.
and the other one is Satanas.
Yeah, that was funny as hell doing that.
Dude.
The Queen is a bad little face.
I know, yeah, you made me lose it. The Queen? We were laughing.
Yep, Casero's gone again.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
Malab. So remember, if you have not been named, leave us in the chat
getting up
or
to
in
20.
the comments. The goal is to get to 20 countries because we have plenty of cities. 20 countries. Come on, guys, you can do it.
Yes. So thank you very much, guys, for watching us. We are here next week,
Yes.
and then I believe the week after.
Yes, we'll talk more about that next week. But yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much, guys, and we
See you
will
next
see you next week for episode 34 to see how this pans out. Bye. Mwah.
Thanks for watching this episode of Blood on the Thames. If you'd like to keep up with all the latest news, follow us on Twitter and Facebook and ShrekNet, the links to which are down below. And remember, if you want to join us live, be sure to tune in every Monday at 7 p.m. on Twitch. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.